Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the XFL Season 9 finale. Welcome to our recap of the greatest event of the year, the showcase of the Immortals, the show of shows, the greatest spectacle in sports entertainment, the granddaddy of them all. This is Wrestlemania!
Woo!
Did you know that's the sound that was going to come out of that?
Yes, that was the audience sound. I did that intentionally.
Excellent.
All right. This is our finale of WrestleMania 35 recap. Might be a bit of a long one. We're starting later than I wanted to. We're going to try to get through this without taking forever and a day. With me are Jeff and Risa.
What's up?
Risa, sonrisa.
Yes. Unfortunately, Tiff could not be with us. It just ran a little bit too late for her, and she has to work earlier than the rest of us tomorrow, generally speaking. Primarily because she is in a time zone ahead of all of us. So, like I said, we're going to go ahead and tear through this, do the best we can, and go over it. There were 16 matches on the card tonight. Given there were 4 of us, we each scored 4 matches. Jeff has both his own matches and Tiff's matches, so he'll be covering that. And then Risa and I have our own respectively. I will still be doing the reading of the recapping for all the matches, but the scores will come from the people that scored.
And you'll be covering all the promos.
Yes, and I'll be talking promos and things like that as well as we go through the recap. So, let us go ahead and kick this off. We got 7 hours of programming to score here, folks. If you're doing the math at home, this one show is the equivalent of an entire week's worth of matches. Because there's normally 7 on Raw, 5 on SmackDown, and 3 on 205.
Which means it should be about the same length as our normal show.
Right, which means if you do the math out, that's about 15 matches in a week, 16 if they squeeze in an extra squash match, so we're on about that point. And a couple of these are pretty quick and aren't going to take long to get through, so let us do this.
Absolutely.
So we will open up with the pre-show.
Indeed.
As we are wont to do. I'm going to be pulling from a bunch of different recaps tonight, depending. I'm going to primarily be using the John Report like always. I also have the regular Raja recap, and I've got the recap from Cage Side Seats available. So if we want to pop around and get more detail on any given thing, we have options.
Our panel, of course, as per the usual, is headed up by the coach, Jonathan Coachman.
Yes.
And his sidekick, the guy that should not be there. I don't know why he's there. Forgot his name. The guy that was sitting next to him.
Yeah. I believe you're talking about Pete Rosenberg.
That was not Pete Rosenberg.
Okay, that's not that guy. I don't know the guy.
No, Rosenberg did not show up for this one. It's the other guy. The guy with the brown hair.
Sam Roberts.
Sam Roberts, yeah. It's like, oh, why are you there?
Yes, the kickoff panel started out hosted by Coach, JBL, Paige, and Sam Roberts.
Yeah. Paige, yeah.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of fans coming into MetLife Stadium. Alexa Bliss was backstage and discussed her hosting duties briefly. So, are we giving promos to Alexa for hosting tonight?
I think we can give her one generic 5-point promo for doing the hosting duties, and then if she did anything like out of the ordinary, spectacular, we can give her extra points for that as we go along.
That's fair. Let me go ahead and whoops, that's not what I wanted at all. Let me get the right document up, and maybe I can get the thing, because we're going to go over and check the scores before we do this, as per the usual.
That's a good idea.
Let me go ahead and fire that up. We're going to go to a screen share. I said a screen share. There we go. An application window. There we go. Share. Okay.
Alrighty then.
Sorry, hang on. Trying to make sure that my cooling pad is working so my laptop doesn't like overheat and explode. Okay,
No, the worst case scenario, it overheats and the show ends because you disappear.
more of that. All right, so let's scroll down here. Currently in the lead, going into the finale at 94-43 is the extremely legit Yes Movement, led by Jeff. In second place, led by Tiff, are the Rowdy Lass Kickers at 85-51. That's about 900 point gap separating the teams. I'm weighing it back at 62-70, and I'm not winning this. I'm going to put this right in here. Yeah. So that was on 4-7. Okay. Let's go ahead and go over to the leaderboards. Top of the leaderboards going into this is the Raw Women's Champion going into the event, Ronda Rousey, at 673. In second place is the WWE Champion going in, Daniel Bryan, at 641. Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Psychopath, is at 607 in third place. Finn Balor is at 606 going in here, number one contender to the IC title.
The Demon.
Samoa Joe, the U.S. Champion, is at 544. Seth freaking Rollins, number one contender to the Universal title, is at 537. Baron Corbin is at 502. Akira Tozawa at 487. Sasha Banks at 478, one half of the women's tag champs. And rounding out the top 10 is the other half of the women's tag champs, Bayley at 477. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Uh-huh. 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 Uh-huh.
You use that, but you have not seen that film.
No, but I've seen that part of the film.
Yeah. Anyway. So after Alexa Bliss gets into hosting duties, we cut backstage to the New Day.
It's a New Day. Yes, it is.
And they say that Kofi will not squander his opportunity against the New Day and O'Brien tonight. So we open up with a promo to the New Day.
Yep. Big E was all fired up like it was his match or something.
Yeah, let me go ahead and give Alexa her 5 points first. All right. Big E. And Kofi. Xavier ear. By the way, a reminder to the folks at home, what's at stake here. Our draft for season 10 will be happening on Saturday. Winner of the season, per draft rules, does get the right to inherently retain either one male and one female superstar, or in lieu of both, one tag team, guaranteed to remain on their team for next season. Second place gets to keep any one individual superstar. Third place gets the honor of, would normally, when we were bringing in a new person, get the honor of last draft, but we'll get We'll get the second to last draft picks, with Risa getting the last draft picks to give her the unblockable pick and the chance to try to even things up.
Sounds good. I'm in fourth place. Yeah.
All right. Well, the thing is, if you're in last, then you get the very last pick of the draft, which, by virtue of being the final pick, is unblockable.
Except in this case, it's the worst place to be because that means you're just stuck with whatever the other three people give you.
That is true. Maybe we want to give her first pick then?
I would, except that when Tiff came in, I gave her the first pick, and she just completely crushed us because she got the first pick.
Well, somebody's got to get the first pick.
Well, we'll talk about it.
Anyway, after the New Day's promo, Edge and Christian joined the kickoff panel to give predictions. Christian thinks that Kofi doesn't have what it takes to get the job done when he gets opportunities. And also adds that he is now 21% vegan thanks to the new Daniel Bryan. I don't know how that works.
I don't know either.
Edge then predicts that Kofi will win and that he will be the People's Champion.
He can't say that.
Well, he did. And Edge also says that Sam Roberts looks like Dean Ambrose got put in a dryer with a Krusty the Clown.
Krusty the Clown wig for those of you following at home.
That's what I said.
No, you cut out is what you said.
Okay.
Yeah. If you're plugged in, your plug-in sucks because you kind of cut out.
Yep, sorry, shit happens.
Yep. And actually, what Edge said was that because they pointed out Daniel Bryan he calls himself the Planet Champion. And he goes, yeah, well, Daniel Bryan might be the Planet Champion, but Kofi is the People's Champion, and that's what matters.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Also, I love that Sam Roberts actually tried to like argue with Edge, and Edge just turned at him and looked dead at him. And was like, "Hey, I'm the Hall of Famer here. You're not. Your opinion doesn't matter."
Pretty much. Edge and Christian are not on the active roster, so they don't get any points for that, but that was entertaining nonetheless.
Absolutely.
We then move on to our opening pre-show match. Tony Nese challenging Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight Championship. Take it away, Jeff.
Indeed, this match was entertaining. It was good. It was not Tony Nese's best match. I feel his previous two matches were better. Partly probably because he's facing Buddy Murphy, who, compared to Drew Gulak and Cedric Alexander, is just not as good. Also, lack of truly contrasting styles, because they're both big guys in the cruiserweight division, so they can both do the cruiserweight stuff, but they're also both powerhouses. So it was basically a mirror match, which was kind of boring, to be honest. But I have some notes. My first note is Buddy Murphy thinks he's Jared Leto now. What the fuck? Because he literally comes out, his gear is purple, green, and white, and he's wearing the fucking purple Joker trench coat from Suicide Squad. I'm like, oh my god. Like, all he needed was the face paint, and he would have been fucking Sting. I don't know. But yeah, apparently he thinks he's Jared Leto.
I think that's an insult to Sting.
Ouch.
Eh?
I should say
No, the insult to Sting was being forced to do that gimmick.
Fair.
But, yeah, so this match was okay. Just to show you how much the WWE just doesn't care about the cruiserweights, middle of this match, this promo kicks in. They do the picture-in-picture with the promo. So first of all, that's the first slide of picture-in-picture promo.
Okay.
It looked like it was a promo package for the Raw Women's Championship match. I was like, really? They're going to show that in the middle of this match? Until you get to the end of it, you realize, mind you, I'm watching this on the WWE Network. It's a promo for the WWE Network in WrestleMania. I'm like, I'm watching WrestleMania. You don't need to sell me I'm watching WrestleMania in the middle of a match on WrestleMania. What the hell, WWE?
Actually,
I'm obviously watching your product that you're promoting.
Actually, there is logic there, believe it or not.
What's the logic?
Remember, the pre-show airs for free on WWE.com and on the USA Network.
How long was the pre-show? Because I thought this was like a 2-hour pre-show.
It is.
There was only 1 hour on the USA Network.
Then the other hour was on WWE.com. It was also live streaming on YouTube the entire time, because Reese and I were watching the matches on YouTube in a Pizza Hut.
You didn't feel like logging into your WWE Network account and just watching it on that?
No, I didn't, because I don't know what the fucking password is. It's saved on my PS4. I don't have to remember it.
Oh, you fucking fail.
I know. Anyway. Also, the fact that it was sitting there free on YouTube already. Why would I go through ever logging in when it's already there on my phone?
That's true. But so, yeah, I was just like,
the idea is that the pre-show is free everywhere and people are watching it. So that since people care enough to tune into the pre-show, if there's anybody watching the pre-show that doesn't have the network and wasn't planning on watching the event, they want to sell them on, hey, stick around, give us $10, watch the show. It's going to be great.
Did they have to do it in the middle of a match?
Yes.
Really? They couldn't do it in the middle of Jonathan Coachman flapping his gums?
No, because that's the part that they want on here for people to talk about. In the middle of a match, they can do some rest holds and some shit. They always get to commercial in the middle of a match. Where the hell have you been?
Not on 205 Live.
Yeah, it's a network show, you dumb bastard.
I don't know. It just annoyed me, and it made it, in my opinion, unnecessarily difficult to score. Because I'm like, what are they doing in that tiny ass box?
Yeah, shit happens.
But yeah, there was some good stuff here. Man, fucking 18 points in evasions and counters from Tony Nese.
Goddamn.
6 from Buddy Murphy. Yeah, that's how well he knows Buddy Murphy. It was a good back and forth, and there were points when each person was up, but yeah, Tony Nese did all the work. Buddy Murphy basically just rolled over and laid down for his friend, apparently. He did. He got a bunch of strikes. He did hit the Murphy's Law. After being countered out of it once. Buddy Murphy tried to go for the running Nese at one point, and Nese just fucking super kicked him in the face for his trouble.
Okay, then.
He was like, "No, you're not using my move on me, you dumb bastard."
Yeah, I'll do it.
And we have a couple of OMGs here. I gave 5 points to Tony Nese for an OMG for busting open Buddy Murphy's left eye with a spinning elbow smash.
Ow.
Yeah, Buddy Murphy didn't even realize he was bleeding, even though if you watch the footage, his entire eye is surrounded in blood. He didn't realize he was bleeding until after he took a bump or something, and they separated. He hit the mat and just kind of sat there in the corner, getting ready to do his next spot. And I guess he went to go wipe his eye because he felt something. He went, wiped his eye, and he pulled his hand and he looked at it and went like, "Oh shit, I'm bleeding." Oh well, wipe the rest of the blood off, continue on with the match. And then an OMG to Buddy Murphy for a top rope turnbuckle gut buster.
Nice.
Whoa.
Yeah, where he did a gut buster from the top rope and basically dropped Tony Nese 8-pack first onto the top turnbuckle. Yeah,
okay,
it like it hurt.
Sound like it. All right.
Points. It did end with a turnbuckle German suplex from Tony Nese into a running Nese, because that's his setup for the running Nese, is he cracks the back of your skull on the turnbuckle.
Mm-hmm.
So running Nese,
Nice.
1, 2, 3, new cruiserweight champion.
Good for Tony Nese. That's awesome. He deserves it.
Yeah, like I said, it was a decent match. It was just kind of boring because it was a mirror match.
That's fair.
And any video gamer can relate to that. Mirror matches are kind of boring to watch.
Yeah. Anyway, points.
So, Buddy Murphy.
Yes.
8 for showing up to a pay-per-view with a title and not walking away with it.
Yep.
6 for evasions, 5 for the OMG, 7 for moves, for a total of 19 points to Buddy Murphy, your former Cruiserweight champion.
That becomes 98, and then another 9 is 307.
Right. And Tony Nese, your new Cruiserweight champion. 8 for competing in a pay-per-view, 30 for winning at a pay-per-view, 40 for winning the title, 18 for evasions and counters, 5 for the OMG, 9 for moves, total of 101 points to Tony Nese.
Nice. That's gonna the 310's gonna put him at 410. Not bad. All right, moving along. As we continue on through the program. After that, Jerry Lawler comes out and joins the kickoff panel.
Yep.
All right, his predictions. And then we go into the second pre-show match, which was the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal. Jeff, I believe you have Tiff's notes for that.
Oh, is she the one that did that? Let's see. Oh, yeah, she did. Oh, wait, what? No, she didn't. 1, 2. You know what?
What?
She forgot to do it.
What?
She only has 3 matches on here.
For fuck's sake.
Starting with the women's tag team match.
Great.
So we actually don't have scores for that match.
Well, that's great. All right. Well, then here's what we're going to do. We're doing this quickly. I'm not wasting time on this.
Mm-hmm.
I have a list of everybody that's in the match. I will give them all base points. Jeff, I'm going to read through this. Note anything that sounds like a move.
All right, hang on. Let me get a fresh document up. If I can figure out how to get a fresh document up. Okay. All right.
Okay, I'll let you know. All right. So most of the women all come out together, except for Naomi and Asuka, who got entrances.
Okay, give me a list of the women before you go through it so I can get the moves fast.
Why don't you
Who's
say
in
just
the
write?
match?
Well, I say just write down the names of the ones that I mentioned do moves because it'll be a lot shorter and faster that way.
But if I know who's in the match, okay, you're gonna have to give me time to actually write down the name of the person when you say it too, so it's not gonna
I
be
know.
fast.
That's fine. Okay, everyone. Let's see. Looks like everybody tries to target Nikki Cross first. She fights them all
Nikki
off,
Cross.
brawling. First elimination was Maria Kanellis.
She's the first one to get eliminated.
Yes.
By who?
It does not say. This is where we're gonna have a problem.
Yes, we need the eliminations.
Well, we're not going to have them because it literally took me 40 minutes just and a half a dozen different recaps to get the ones for the Andre Battle Royal. That shit's not happening. Let's finish what we can get out of this first. All right. So, Asuka eliminates Candice LeRae and Nikki Cross.
Asuka. It's 6 for eliminations. She eliminated Candice, LeRae, and Nikki Cross. Okay.
Okay. Naomi and Ember Moon start trading kicks in the middle of the ring.
Naomi, Ember Moon.
Given they both, I would say at the very least Naomi should probably get 2 points for kicks because she's known for doing a lot of kicks. I don't know. Does Ember do a lot of kicks?
She has a kick combo, the lunar combo and stuff.
Okay. I mean, you can give her a point for kicks if you want.
Okay.
Lana gets involved, gets slammed down on the mat by Ember hard.
Lana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ember then eliminates Naomi.
Okay, so 3 for Elim.
Ember then hits Mandy Rose with an Eclipse.
So Ember gets another move point for an Eclipse. And I need to add Mandy Rose to the list. Oops, learn how to spell. Okay.
All right. Sonya Deville attacks Ember Moon.
All right, we got Sonya Deville.
Lana then eliminates Ember Moon.
Wow, really?
That's what it says. I did not see this match.
The Ember Moon, Jesus Christ, she's just getting shafted.
Yeah, I didn't see this. I didn't see any of these pre-show matches except for the Andre Battle Royal, which I went back and watched earlier so I could score it. Let's see what else.
Okay, looks like Ember Moon is the one that eliminated Maria, so I will give her another Elim.
Okay, note that. Sarah Logan eliminates Lana.
Okay.
Ruby Riott eliminates Kairi Sane.
Who eliminates Kairi Sane?
Ruby Riott.
Ruby Riott and Kairi Sane. Okay.
Let's see. The Riot Squad double teams Asuka and Zelina Vega.
Zelina Vega. Okay.
Dana Brooke.
Okay.
Dana Brooke eliminates Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan.
Okay.
Let's see here. Zelina hits Dana with a kick and knocks her down.
No point for her or not?
I don't know Zelina's moveset. She barely wrestles.
Neither do I. Tiff would know Zelina's moveset because she does SmackDown.
I know. I'm not going to worry.
What the hell?
All right.
Mandy, you get a kick. You get a kick. Everyone gets a kick.
Mandy and Sonya both eliminate Zelina.
Okay.
They both get the points. That's policy.
Yes.
And when you do want to give them another one because the two of them both eliminated Dana Brooke right after that.
Okay. Got it.
All right. Mickey James
I forgot she was in the match. Okay.
She eliminates Mandy.
Okay.
And then Sonya eliminates Mickey. Okay.
Got it.
All right. That leaves the last three as Sonya Deville, Sarah Logan, and Asuka.
Okay.
Asuka fires up and drops both women. Asuka eliminates Sonya.
Where's Asuka? There. Okay. Okay.
Then Sarah Logan eliminates Asuka.
Okay.
And Sarah Logan thinks that she's won, but Carmella was never eliminated. Carmella slides back in the ring, attempts to eliminate Sarah Logan, but she hangs on. Logan and Carmella then fight on the apron until Carmella super kicks Sarah Logan, who falls out to the floor and is eliminated, giving Carmella the win.
All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 3, 16, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, we got all the eliminations. Hello?
Okay, they give Carmella some win points. Tell me what we got.
Oh, I didn't actually score everybody. I just got eliminations. I thought you got the match points and everything.
Oh, I mean, I can do the
I
match.
can total everything up if you want. It'll just take a minute.
Well, no, I mean, I can do Carmella's right off the bat. It's just for the other ones. If you have the full list of who was in the match and what their eliminations were because it's 3 points per elimination. So that's just what I want to know because there really were almost, there were only a few. You noted the couple of moves too, so you kind of have all that.
So Nikki Cross, we'll start with her.
Okay.
Base.
What is base?
Oh, Jesus Christ! All right, I'll do the work.
But for God's sake, it's 8 and 3. It's 11. Stop. It only takes 2 seconds. It's not work. It's 11 points. It's 8 for the match, 3 for a specialty. All right, 11 for Nikki Cross puts her at 81.
All right, Maria Kanellis also gets base.
And puts her at 172.
Asuka.
Okay.
Gets base +9 because she did not do any moves.
So 20 points to Asuka. That puts her at 418.
All right, we got Candice LeRae.
Who is not even on the roster, so fuck her, move on.
Didn't she get called up with like everybody else though?
Nope, not that I noticed. She was not called up.
Okay. We have Naomi.
Okay.
Base +2 for kicks.
Sounds good. Let me scroll down here. Okay, so that's 13, which will be 99. Put her at 202.
All right. We have Ember Moon.
Ember.
We have base +6 for eliminations, +2 for moves.
So base +8 then, which is 20 points. Puts her at 140. Next. Hello.
Base +8 is 19.
Oh, 19. Sorry, you're right. Drop her by a point.
All right.
Let's go. Continue.
We have the Ravishing Russian.
All right, Lana.
Base +3 for elimination.
That's 14, which is 98, and 4 is 102.
All right. We have Mandy Rose.
Mandy Rose. Okay.
Base +6 for eliminations.
That's 17 points. So that becomes 78. And 7 would be 285.
All right. We have Sonya Deville.
All right.
Base +9.
Let's scroll down further. So base +9 is... That's 20. Would be 207, 217.
All right. We have Sarah Logan.
Sarah Logan, yep.
And she's got base plus 6.
Okay, that's 17, so that puts her at 57. And 7 is that's 164.
Oh, hey, this number I don't even have. Wait. 1, 2. Yeah. Okay. Oops, I was one off. Okay. Didn't put her in. My bad.
Please continue.
All right. So Ruby Riott,
Ruby Riott.
base plus 3.
That's 3, no, that's 14, which puts her at exactly 200.
Kairi Sane, who's not on the roster.
Yep.
So we go to Zelina Vega,
Zelina Vega.
base plus 1.
Plus 1 is 12. 154. 154. Okay.
All right. Dana Brooke.
Dana Brooke.
Dana Brooke,
Okay.
base plus 6.
Base plus 6 is 17. Makes that 77.
All right. We have Mickey James.
Mickey James. All right.
We have base plus 3.
Base plus 3, as long as that's 14, be puts her at 68.
All right.
All right.
We have Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan, okay.
She gets base because she did fuck all.
Or, okay, that becomes 54. 64 becomes 165. Okay.
And your winner, Mela.
Is money.
Apparently. So she gets base plus win.
Yeah, she gets 30 for a pay-per-view win, 10 for a specialty win is 40, plus base. So that'd be 51 points.
Plus 3 for elimination.
Okay, it's 54.
Plus 1 for the eliminating super kick.
55 points to Carmella then.
There you go.
And plus 12.5 is 65, 67, 267 for her then.
All right.
Well done, Carmella. Okay, now that we've sorted that mess out. Sorry, folks at home. Sorry,
Yeah.
Risa.
Yeah, thanks for putting up with shenanigans, Risa.
Live, everybody. Anyway, moving on. So here, tell you what I'm gonna do, Risa. I'm gonna make up for that for you right now.
Are you?
We cut over to the kickoff panel, which is joined by the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Woo! Okay, you're forgiven.
Oh,
Everyone's forgiven.
I'm old. I used to be cute. I used to be sexy.
And now my hips just hurt me real bad.
Anyway,
we love you, Sean.
yes. Shawn Michaels trades some verbal jabs with the coach. They review tonight's card, and Shawn talks up the Batista Triple H match.
Yep. Which I am thoroughly surprised he did not interfere in.
Well, that's what they had Ric Flair for.
Yeah, but he didn't get in Ric Flair's face. He got in Shawn's face multiple times. I was waiting for the super kick to come out.
Yeah. It was covered. Anyway, following this, we went to the Raw Tag Team Championship match of the Revival defending against Ryder and Hawkins.
The Edgeheads.
Pretty much. All right. Risa, that one was yours, right?
Yeah.
You got the points?
Yeah.
Cool.
I still think Edge should have come out with them since he was there.
I would tend to agree. Anyway, takedowns were on the line. Dawson and Hawkins started off training takedowns, headlocks. Ryder tagged in. Dawson got the upper hand. Tagged in Wilder. Wilder and Hawkins used Ryder and kept him in their corner for a while. He fought back with a knee strike and a drop kick, but missed a shot, and Dawson tagged back in, and they kept using Ryder as a beat slut as he kept trying to fight back for a large portion of the match. At one point, when Ryder fights back after reversing a double team, Dawson knocks Hawkins off the apron so they can't get tagged in. The Revival and the double team Ryder some more and continue beating him up and using him as a beat slut. Finally, Hawkins gets a hot tag and cleans house, rolls up Dawson for a 2, knocks Wilder off the apron. Dawson and Hawkins then trade roll-up attempts, then collide mid-ring with a double clothesline. Ryder comes in and takes Dash Wilder out with a suplex to the ringside area. Wilder nails a DDT on Ryder on the floor. Hawkins then spears Wilder. Dawson comes over and hits Hawkins with a brainbuster on the floor. Ow. And Dawson then takes Hawkins back in the ring and taunts him. It looks like Kurt Hawkins is out cold, but when Dawson tries to pick him up, possum pin. And Kurt Hawkins secures the Raw Tag Team titles for the Edgeheads.
The almighty roll-up?
The almighty possum pin.
Ah. Fair.
All right. So, Risa, what do we got for points on these guys?
Okay, so Ryder gets his base points of 8, 6 from...
Hold on.
Okay.
No, just if I could, Risa. General procedures, we normally do the losers first.
Oh, sorry. I was reading the wrong side.
That's okay.
All right, Wilder.
Okay, Dash Wilder. What do we got?
Base points of 8.
Okay.
He only got 1 move off of his move list. So, plus 1. And then, so he has a total of 9.
Okay, 379. And Scott Dawson.
All right, same for Dawson.
9.
Pretty much all his moves were slapping people around. He did a drop kick, not in his move set. He had a couple leg drops.
Yeah, the Revival does not have singles move sets. They really don't. They have like 3 double team moves, and that's the extent of their entire fucking move set.
Yeah, so
fair enough. Okay, and over to the faces.
All right, so Ryder gets his 8 base, 6 for moves, 15 for being the tag team partner in a tag team winning match, 30 for the title, so for a total of 59 for Ryder.
All right. That becomes 99, and 7 puts him at 106.
And then Hawkins gets his base of 8, 1 per special move. What was that? Oh, the jumping kick. 30 for the tag team title, and 30 for winning the pay-per-view match, for a total of 69 for Hawkins.
Wait, 69? And he only had 1 move?
Yeah.
Okay, 69 it is.
His moves were a forearm, drop kicks, a jumping kick, and that was it.
Okay, so 69 then. Fair enough. So then we're going to draw this. That's going to put him at 149.
Yeah, that's why I break it down so well, so you could determine that.
Oh, makes sense. Cool. All right. Rolling on. As we continue through the program, the kickoff panel is joined by now two-time WWE Hall of Famer Booker T.
Can you dig that?
Anyway, we then mosey on over to the 6th annual Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
This was the worst one yet. Oh my god.
Yeah, this was fucking garbage.
Because I came in at the end of it, and there was like 5 men in the ring. One of them was Braun, and the others basically were barely hanging on to their jobs by a thread. So I was like, oh god, Braun's going to win this. And then the ending of it, I was like, really? You're going to end it with that? Oh my god. Seriously, this is the one match where the ending just outright pissed me off. Like, no, that's bullshit.
You don't like Colin Jost bringing a therapist into the ring?
I did, but they should have started with that. They should have started with the 3 of them. They shouldn't have ended with it. That just kind of made a mockery of the match, which, granted, isn't hard to do because the match in and of itself is a mockery of Andre the Giant, but still. I was just like, wow, that's going to be your match ender? You really don't give a shit about this match, WWE. Like, it was bad enough that they were going to be part of the match, for some part, but they made it the match ender. I was just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
For the record, it's also a mockery of the roster, battle royals, and professional wrestling in general.
And Braun Strowman's entire career.
And that.
Also, high point, Matt Hardy comes out looking like 1990s Attitude Era Matt Hardy.
Plus hair streak.
Well, yes, he had the hair streak, but he had his hair pulled back a la classic Matt Hardy, so you only see it at certain angles. He also bothered to grow out his goatee, which was interesting. He went totally for the retro look.
He did. Although the problem is he still looks 45. So all it looked like was a dude going through a midlife crisis.
Yeah, I think it would have. I think number one. Okay, so the two things that were a little bit off with that is number one, he had the streak in his hair. I think if he didn't have the streak, it would have looked better. And number two, Matt Hardy now is severely jacked compared to Matt Hardy then. So I don't think he really looked 45. He just looked bigger because he's got more muscle. He's a bigger dude now. So it didn't look quite right because Matt Hardy then was supposed to be, high flyer, kind of almost like a cruiserweight, whereas Matt Hardy now is clearly a heavyweight that will lift you and fucking throw you around.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So anyway, all the participants came out together. The only people that got entrances were the Hardy Boys, the SNL Jobbers, and Braun. And basically, this thing was a complete clusterfuck. I actually had to turn on the network and watch this match several times to score it because the number of eliminations happened off screen.
Oh, did they do the stupid? We're gonna cut to ads in the middle of the.
No, it wasn't
match.
an ad. It wasn't an ad problem. It was look over here. The SNL guys cleverly slid out of the ring and are trying to hide under the ring to avoid Braun Strowman. Meanwhile, while the camera's pointing at them, two dudes just got eliminated over here.
So WWE really didn't give any shits about this match.
No, not at all. Because you saw the two of them climb under the ring, and then it cuts to another camera over on the other side of the ring, and Curtis Axel is just on the floor.
Wow, they cared so little about this match they couldn't even bother to picture that. Wow.
No, Curtis Axel is just on the floor. To this point, I have no idea who eliminated him, so nobody got elimination points for Curtis Axel because I have no damn idea. It was probably Braun, but I don't know.
Wow. That's
pretty sad.
Because there was that one that happened. Then there was one later in the match where the camera was on that side of the ring watching one part of the guys beating each other up. EC3 got chucked out the ramp side of the ring. The camera cut over in time to see him falling off the apron to the floor, but not to see who threw him out. But I think Apollo back body dropped him out. But again, so at that one I was given that where he was positioned and Apollo was right there. I made the assumption that Apollo back body dropped him and gave the points to Apollo for that one.
fair.
But that happened, and yeah, then it was. I mean. I can pretty much summarize this. I can summarize this battle royal fairly easily. It was a couple of guys trying to do a couple of cool things, and then Braun.
Yep. And clearly WWE cared more about the women's one than the men's one because that's where I was getting like the eliminations for the women's one because like they have all that shit in there, or at least those ones that we missed. I'm looking at the men's one, literally. First two paragraphs of the article is it happened, right? Talking about the Memorial Battle Royal, who's going to win, blah blah blah. Then literally the next two paragraphs, which is the rest of the article, is talking about Joe Che and fucking Strowman, like literally the end of the match. They couldn't care enough to even recap the match. All they said was, "It's a thing. Here's the ending." It's just like, really? That's your article for the match?
Well, I will give you a base recap. My base recap. Let's see. As of right now, is Braun Strowman threw out 13 guys.
Fair.
Which, by the way, as was pointed out by Corey Graves, is the new record. That breaks the record.
That doesn't say much considering who his competition was.
I know, but I'm just saying the record for eliminations was, I believe, held by Roman Reigns, if I recall correctly, because he broke Kane's record.
Fair. Also, were they trying to make Colin Jost look like John Cena since John Cena did not show up at WrestleMania as himself this year?
Maybe, I don't know.
Because he looks like John Cena with that bright-ass orange jersey and that dad haircut.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. Anyway, so relevant points to this match, just very quickly to cover the relevant points.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get to the other thing over here. I can discuss the relevant points of the match quickly. Okay, so people were beating each other up. Titus threw Heath Slater out. Mind you, like I said, that Curtis Axel thing happened so fast, it's not in any recaps. So,
fair.
Heath Slater got thrown out, and poor Heath Slater, because I don't know if this is intentional or not, but Titus threw him out. Titus threw Heath Slater out. And Titus threw him out so hard that Heath Slater hit the barricade like he'd been shot out of a cannon.
Ow.
That did not look like it felt good.
I got kids.
In fact, I think that was Corey Graves' comment. If that's not going to be good for his kids. Anyway, so he hit the barricade and went down. Ali managed to knock Titus out, and then he threw out No Way Jose for good measure.
Well, at least he's not Ronda Rousey. I don't know how Ronda Rousey's going to have kids without a spine.
Yeah.
Because, good God. But we'll get to that.
Yeah. Anyway, so Carl Anderson. Carl Anderson was in the corner, and Braun Strowman ran at him for a body avalanche, and Carl Anderson managed to move out of the way. So Braun Strowman speared the ring post and then fell out of the ring between the ropes.
No.
So Braun was not eliminated, but he did temporarily take himself out of the match by spearing the ring post.
Would it be safe to say that the competitors of the Battle Royal were by degrees far stupider than the competitors of the Royal Rumble?
Yes.
Because if I recall correctly, in the Royal Rumble, the competitors there were actually smart enough to be like, oh shit, Braun's a threat, everyone toss him out.
At one point they did try that, but it was not soon enough in the match, and Braun Strowman just kind of threw them all off. So let's see here. Carl Anderson then gets eliminated. Then Rhino gets thrown out right behind him. The Hardy Boys start double teaming people.
Mm-hmm.
And Carl Anderson. It says Carl Anderson gets eliminated. Then it says Anderson eliminates Bobby Roode. Something is wrong here.
Time to move on to another recap because that one's obviously flawed.
Yeah, there's some issues here. Hang on, let me pop up the John Report and see what that says.
The John Report is generally the best recap.
Yeah, sometimes, not always. Let me scroll down to the match. Let's see what happened here. All right, let's see what this one says. No Way Jose. Okay, so No Way Jose went out to a heavy machinery. Let's see. Carl Anderson was trying to eliminate him. The Hardys were together against Rhino. Bobby Roode and Grand Metalik got eliminated. The Hardys threw Rhino out, and then Bobby Roode and Grand Metalik got eliminated, and I'm not totally sure who did that. I've got it all listed on the page. I just don't have it off the top of my head. I got the numbers right anyway, so just don't worry about it. Anyway, Andrade. Also, I want this in the video game next year. If 2K is listening, by the way, okay. I want this in the fucking video game next year.
What do you do?
Andrade eliminated Kalisto with a monkey flip.
Of course, you would want that in the game.
Give me that for a Rumble elimination. I want that.
Well, he just threw him over the top rope by monkey flipping him over it?
Something like that, yes. It's a creative monkey flip.
Okay.
So he did that. Then Gable grabbed Andrade and hit him with 2 German suplexes, and then Andrade countered and threw him out.
Chump.
Otis then hit a double caterpillar elbow on both members of the Ascension.
Okay.
And then they got thrown out. By this time, Braun Strowman recouped himself and got back in the ring.
Wait, let me get this straight. They had Heavy Machinery, the Ascension, Luke Harper, and Apollo Crews, and they couldn't eliminate Braun Strowman.
Nope.
Wow, you guys fail as big men. Holy crap.
There was a momentary stare down between Luke Harper and Braun Strowman, but then everybody attacked both men and it turned into a brawl, so nothing happened from it.
Idiots, you should have left Luke Harper alone.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's see. Strowman ran back in. Clothesline knocked out Luke Gallows. Strowman did a drop kick on both members of Heavy Machinery and threw them out. Harper then picked Ali up for a suplex near the rope area, and while he was doing that, Braun went over and kicked Luke Harper, and both him and Ali went flying out of the ring.
I saw that one. That pissed me off. I was like, no, Ali.
Yeah, so they both got thrown out. And Tom Phillips mentioned the record for Battle Royal eliminations, which is 13, by the way. Andrade proceeded to head scissors Apollo Crews and himself out of the match.
Mm-hmm.
The Hardys then tried to double team and eliminate Braun Strowman, but this did not. They had him half over the rope, like the Hardys were on the apron in a double headlock, trying to pull him over the rope, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Colin Jost and Michael Che, who had been hiding under the ring, came out, saw what was going on, jumped in the ring, and attempted to help the Hardy Boys. But Braun powered out through all this, tossed the Hardy Boys off the apron, then turned around to Jost and Che, at which point Colin Jost grabbed a microphone, brought a therapist into the ring, and tried to talk Braun Strowman down from his anger.
Am I the only one who was hoping that when he said therapist, it was going to be Dr. What's-His-Face?
That would have been interesting if it was Dr. Shelby.
Yeah, Dr. Shelby. That would have been awesome.
That would have been fun. Anyway, so Braun Strowman proceeds to punch the therapist in the face and then throw him onto Colin Jost in the corner. He gave the guy a choke slam, then threw him into Colin Jost. Let me amend that. And then eventually Michael Che decided, fuck this, and climbed over the rope to eliminate himself, but Braun knocked him off the apron for good measure. He then picked up Colin Jost high over his head and tossed him onto a pile of dudes outside the ring to win the match.
Boo.
Pretty much.
This is bullshit.
Clap, 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 clap. All right, so
Waste of Hardys.
pretty much. Anyway, well, if it makes you feel better, did you happen to see SmackDown?
I heard about that, and I think I know why it happened, but we'll go over that later.
We'll cover that on Saturday. Anyway, so Colin Jost and Michael Che get no points because they're celebrities. So going through all the people that were in the match that get base for this, which again is 11, much like the other Battle Royal. So, in no particular order, we have EC3. 92. We have Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, EC3, welcome back to mediocrity.
Yep. 132. All right. We've got Beauty and the Man Beast.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Heath Slater gets 11. 40 puts him at 50. Rhino 11, which puts him at 39. And then after that we have Tyler Breeze.
Easy Bella.
Yep. But if some of these names I didn't mention in the recap, they were probably thrown out by Braun when he jumped back in the ring after the ring post spearing spot. Because Braun Strowman jumped in and threw out like 7 dudes at that point.
Okay, then.
We have Sheldon Benjamin. Was in the
The
match.
bronze standard?
Something like that. To at 75. We've got all 3 members of the Lucha House Party.
Lucha.
Oh, let's see here. We got Lince Dorado. 19. We've got Grand Metalik. Puts him at 199. And we've got Kalisto. He puts him at 370. All right, we've got the Ascension.
Mm-hmm.
Puts him at 47. And what's it, 54. And then we've got, let's see here. We have Bobby Roode.
Mm-hmm.
225. And we've got No Way Jose.
I'm surprised he didn't try to use the conga line for like a Royal Rumble save.
That would have been clever. Let's see. We've got, who else we got in this thing? We've got the Good Brothers. Gallows at 99. Carl Anderson at 106. And then we've got the B team. Okay. We move on to people with more than just base points. Chad Gable gets base plus 2 German suplexes. So 13 points to Chad Gable. Becomes 72.79. No, wait. 8. Wait. No, 79 was right. I don't know how to do math. Okay. And then move on to people with elimination points.
Mm-hmm.
The Hardy Boys get base plus 1 elimination each.
That's base plus 3.
Yep. So that's going to be 14 points to each of the Hardy Boys. 40 points to Jeff Hardy is going to be 157. 14 points to Matt Hardy. What the hell? Oh, he's at the bottom, isn't he? Yeah. 77 becomes 87. Right. And then we've got, let's see, Luke Harper had 1 elimination, so he'll get 14. Only points he has for the season. Welcome back, Luke Harper. 3 points are going to go to Titus O'Neil.
World slide.
There's another 14, which was 56. And the last for this batch is Tucker, who will get 3 points. Tucker Knight, where is he? There we go. He will get the base 14. And that's going to be 69. That's 172. Right, and then let's see here. Who's next? Next up, we have Apollo, who had 2 eliminations. So Apollo will get base plus 6, so is 17 points to Apollo. 67. And let's see. All right, we have Ali, who had 2 eliminations. He gets base plus 6, plus 1 point for hitting his tornado DDT thing off the second rope.
Okay.
So that is let's see, that'll be 6, 7, 18 points to Ali, formerly Mustafa. Puts him at 270. And then what else? Who's left? All right. We've got Otis, who has 3 eliminations, 9 elimination points, plus 5 OMG points for hitting a double caterpillar.
Nice.
And 1 point for it actually being a move. Is 15? Is Otis gets 11 plus 15 is 26 points to Otis. The hell is he? 26 points to Otis, which would be 97.07, and 6 would be 213. Andrade had 5 eliminations. That's what I calculated. So he will get 15 points for that. 1 move for hitting the eliminating Hurricanrana that took himself out of the match, along with Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
So that's Andrade gets 11 plus 16. Becomes 27 points to Andrade.
Would he not get 3 elimination points for eliminating himself?
Already counted it.
Oh, okay.
He has 5 eliminations, himself included.
Fair.
He eliminated 4 dudes plus himself.
Fair.
So now, so he has 15 plus the 1 for the Hurricanrana move is 16 plus the 11 is 27 points to Andrade, like I was saying.
Fair.
7 is 54, and 7 is 261. And your grand winner, of course, Braun!
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Let's see. Braun is going to get. I'm gonna calculate this. Let's see. Braun is going to get himself 30 points for winning this match. He is going to get 10 for winning a specialty match. He's going to get the base 11. He is going to get 1 point for choke slamming the therapist. He's going to get 3 points for countering Matt Hardy's twist of fate. And he's going to get 39 points for 13 eliminations.
Damn.
He's going to give Braun Strowman 94 points for this match.
Jesus.
And 7 is actually, let's see, 94. And 7 is actually going to put Braun at 401.
God damn.
Braun. So, that happened.
Yeah.
We finally end the kickoff show and go into the pay-per-view proper. Yolanda Adams, gospel singer, sings America the Beautiful. Pyro goes off because WrestleMania can afford pyro. Alexa Bliss comes out to kick off the program, the host of WrestleMania.
What she does.
She talks about her hosting duties tonight, saying that the beauty of her being the host of WrestleMania is that if she wants a WrestleMania moment, all she has to do is snap her fingers. Don't believe me? Alexa Bliss slowly raises her hand and proceeds to snap her fingers. At the snap when it comes crashing down and it hurts inside. And out comes the Hulkster himself, Hulk Hogan.
I was like, well, that's one way to kick off WrestleMania.
Yes, Hulk Hogan is here, and he brought Silverdome jokes.
Of course he did. He's trying to get back in people's good graces.
So Hulk Hogan comes out and gets Mike.
Well,
Says,
let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah, he gets a pop for the crowd. He makes jokes saying, it's great to be here at the Silverdome. Pause for laughter. I'm just kidding, brother. It's great to be here at the MetLife Center. Pop. For anybody watching at home that's unaware, the Silverdome joke is because a few years ago, Hulk Hogan was at the Superdome and mistakenly called it the Silverdome, which is where the Silverdome being where he wrestled Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3. So that's where that running joke comes from, and Hulk was nice enough to play it up for the crowd. And he talks about how good it is to be in front of 80,000 Hulkamaniacs, and talks about how big tonight is, and just asks one final question: what you gonna do, brother, when Hulkamania, Alexa Bliss, and WrestleMania run wild on you? And then Hogan and Alexa do some poses.
And as they're posing and Hulk's music is playing, Paul Heyman marches straight down to the ring and grabs a microphone.
Yeah, Paul
Heyman. Hogan just goes, screw you, and leaves.
Pretty much. So Paul Heyman, with intent, marches down to the ring, grabs the mic, tells everybody to shut the hell up.
Did you see this part?
Yes.
Fair.
And Paul Heyman grabs a mic and gets in the ring and says that, look, all right, if the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar is not the main event tonight, then we are not waiting around all night for his match. We're getting this done and out of the way right here, right now. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce? And he does his whole big introduction of Brock Lesnar.
And I was like, okay, are we really going to do this right now?
We really are going to do this right now.
Yes, and then Seth Rollins proceeds to march down to the ring with the new Titantron. I'm like, okay, we're doing this.
Yep. So Brock and Seth proceed. However, when Seth gets to the bottom of the ramp, Brock decides not to wait for the bell and jumps Seth Rollins on the ramp and F5s him on it.
And beats the shit out of him all around the ring. Or
Pretty much. Yes,
it.
he beats the shit out of him all around the ringside area. He throws him over over the German announce table at one point. Then throws it back in the ring and tells the ref to ring the bell, but the ref is good enough to give Second a minute to recover before he does this.
And when the ref tries to give him time, Brock's like, fine, fuck you, grabs Seth, dumps him back outside the ring, slides outside, beats the shit out of him some more, puts him back in the ring and says, now ring the damn bell.
Well, he throws him over another table face first into a guy.
Yeah.
Then slams him on the floor, then throws him back in the ring. Seth gets to his feet. The ref finally calls for the bell. Brock starts throwing knees in the corner, MMA style, then to hit some German suplexes. He pauses for a suplex city, bitch! And he hits a couple of suplexes. There's a pause, hits another suplex. But Seth manages to shove Brock away, and Brock knocks the ref down, and the ref rolls out to ringside. While the ref is down, Seth punches Brock in the nuts.
No, he uppercuts him in the nuts.
Uppercuts Brock in the nuts. Then super kicks him in the face. Then hits a curb stomp. Then hits another curb stomp.
Then hits
a third curb stomp. And then pins Brock Lesnar for the Universal title.
Was it 3? I thought it was 4.
It was 3.
Fair. I love, because of the camera angle, and I hope they did this intentionally, you could see Paul Heyman the entire time that Seth was curb stomping him, and just the progression and evolution of Paul's face just sold the entire thing.
It really did. I love that.
Paul is like, no!
Pretty much. So your winner and new Universal Champion, Seth freaking Rollins. How's about that?
I was also surprised that they had Paul Heyman do the whole "fuck the women, Brock should be the main event" shtick.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's why if you go back into our chat, I said, "Wow, sexist Paul Heyman." Okay, then.
He's a heel.
He is, but still, wow.
Anyway, Brock Lesnar gets 4 points for assaulting Seth Rollins before the match. He gets 4 points for moves, including an F5 on the ramp and 3 German suplexes. And he gets 8 points for being in a match on a pay-per-view. Is 16 points to Brock Lesnar.
Borg Laser.
Indeed. So Borg Laser puts Borg Laser at 140. Thanks for coming. Referral accompaniment over to Paul and promo over to Paulrus.
Yep, really incredibly sexist promo.
Which would be 5 for the accompaniment, 5 for the promo. Is 10 points to Paulrus, puts him at 76.
Do we want to give him an OMG for facial expressions?
Yeah, fuck it. It's not going to affect anything. It's my team anyway, so fuck it. And then, your winner and new Universal Champion, Seth
freaking Rollins.
Yeah, that. So, conveniently, this actually works out rather perfectly. Seth Rollins gets 50 points for winning the Universal title. 30 points for winning a match on a pay-per-view. Is 80. He gets 8 for being in the match, is 88. He gets 3 for escaping an additional F5 attempt during the match, is 91. And then he gets 4 points for assaulting Brock pre-match because they were fighting back and forth. And also 4 move points, gives Seth Rollins exactly 100 points. So how's about that?
Fair. Did you actually give him points for being in the match? Because I don't recall you saying that.
I did say 8 points for being in a match.
Okay, fair.
Now Seth Rollins moves up to 637.
Yeah, am I also the only one who's surprised that Brock actually agreed to effectively roll for Seth Rollins?
Yeah.
Because Brock doesn't roll for anybody. And this was like literally a curb stomp match.
Mm-hmm.
This was like a Brock v. Goldberg match.
Yeah.
So Brock must really like Seth, or they somehow conned him into doing it, because I just don't see Brock doing this of his own accord unless he is really high on the guy he's rolling for.
Well, either that or Vince told him he'd triple his paycheck.
Or they threw money at his face, yes.
Anyway, so following all of that, as we continue rolling through the program, Seth looks shocked that he won the title, then holds it up and pyro and celebration. Once the ring is cleared, we then have AJ Styles versus Randy Orton from SmackDown. A match that, according to the original, according to what I've read, was supposed to be the opening match until that was changed sometime during the pre-show.
Okay, then. Also, a match that, according to Randy Orton, where half the audience got blinded by a yellow light courtesy of WWE.
Yeah, there was a giant bright-ass light coming from the Tron area, preventing half the audience from being able to see the match. Orton apologized for that on Instagram.
The new Randy Orton.
Something like that. Anyway.
The old Randy Orton would have apologized.
Jerry Lawler comes out to do commentary for this match.
For some odd reason.
Yeah, they're putting special commentators in a lot of matches tonight. Anyway, Lawler does commentary, and these two put on the match that you would expect between AJ Styles and Randy Orton. I'm really not even going to need to go into detail. There's no need. It was a good match.
The ending of the match, though.
Yeah, there was reverses of DDTs off the middle ropes. Orton escaped a calf crusher, RKO reversal. AJ faked Orton out on one point. Orton crashed to the mat by himself off of not an RKO.
That was the end of the match, where he jumped up to do the phenomenal forearm, and Orton went up to RKO him out of midair. And the thing is, AJ just didn't jump. He just jumped off back down to the apron. Orton just boom and just basically concussed himself.
No, this is not. That's a different thing.
Oh, he faked him out twice?
Yeah, so AJ looked for the forearm, saw Orton trying to reverse it with an RKO, so faked him out, and Orton crashed down to the mat by himself. AJ then hit a springboard 450 for a 2 count. Orton then hit a backbreaker for a 2 of his own. They fought up the turnbuckle. Orton hit a superplex, then uppercutted AJ, draping DDT. The fans reacted loudly to something off camera. Orton looked for an RKO, but AJ Pele kicked him, picked him up. Orton shoved him away, hit an RKO, but AJ kicked out of it. They fought on the turnbuckle again. AJ with another Pele kick. Orton goes to ringside. AJ hits a suicide dive. Then back in the ring, AJ looks for the phenomenal forearm. Orton tries to counter it, but AJ shoves him off, and then successfully hits the phenomenal forearm for the 3 count.
Yeah, he went up for the phenomenal forearm. Orton went and tried to go for the RKO in midair, but AJ knew that's what he was going to do, so he just didn't jump, and Orton concussed himself. And AJ just kind of stood there, waited for Orton to get back up, and then forearmed his ass.
Yep.
Also, I love the moment, and this just proves Randy Orton is a damned good face, because he does this shit when he's not even trying to be a face, and it's like, dude, I'm sitting here thinking, wait, you're the heel, why are you doing this? Where he completely played up the crowd. AJ was on the mat. He's like, ha, and just, walks around the ring going, trying to get the crowd riled up. And it's kind of looks at the crowd, and then he turns around, looks at AJ, he goes, I'm going to RKO this son of a bitch right now. And then does the Viper wind up and goes for the RKO and gets totally countered because he was playing up the crowd too much.
Yep.
Just like, you're the heel. Why did you do that?
Yeah. Also, didn't Orton intentionally stop doing the Viper wind-up because it broke his shoulders?
No. He stopped actually slamming the mat. He still does the wind-up. He just does it not as slow, so it doesn't impact the shoulders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he still does it. He does it all the time. He just doesn't, slam it. He doesn't do it the way he does it in the video game, because that, breaks his shoulders.
Right, okay. Anyway, points.
Oh, does Tiff have that one? No, she doesn't.
No, Risa, points.
Oh.
No, that one's not mine.
It ain't mine.
Jim,
Jeff,
points.
Jeff, it's not mine. Jeff, it's yours.
No, it's not. I have Joe versus Ray.
Well, it sure as hell isn't me because I have the Andre Battle Royal, the SmackDown
Yeah,
Tag
she
Team.
does. Tiff does have it. She put it at the bottom. Why did she put it at the bottom?
I don't know. Just read the damn points.
All right. So, we'll go with Randy first, the loser.
Makes sense.
And okay, I'm gonna have to modify points. Give me a minute, because Tiff gave match points and pay-per-view points, which are basically the same thing. So I have to subtract points here. So that would be -5.
While he's doing that, it's worth noting that AJ Styles is dealing with a minor hip injury from when he took that big fucking superplex and landed more on his left side than on his right and kind of tweaked his hips up.
Yeah. So Orton gets 8 for being in the match. A few escapes, a bunch of moves. See, it looks like 3 escapes and a bunch of moves for 26 points to Orton.
Orton's at 256 then.
And the phenomenal one, AJ Styles.
Yes.
It's 8 for being in the match, 30 for winning the match, a whole shit ton of escapes and moves, 71 points to the phenomenal one.
Damn.
Yeah, he did all the work.
So 71. We was going to put him at 411. 411 for AJ Styles.
All right.
All right. So after that, Lacey Evans comes out and walks around. The sexy Southern Belle poses on the stage and then leaves. So promo to Lacey Evans. Thank God after WrestleMania they finally used her.
Right?
By the way, this will get talked about more next week, but can I just say I love how Becky is immediately jumping on that, by the way.
Oh.
So Becky's on Twitter after that thing happened with Lacey. Becky's on Twitter like, so, making like, so this is who I'm supposed to defend the titles against? New Charlotte? I'm looking at her. I could, maybe, call me crazy, but I'm starting to think this company has a type. Because let's face it, she's kind of tall, leggy, and blonde, just like Charlotte.
Well, we know Vince McMahon has a male type, and we do know he does have the tall, leggy, blonde type. Lest we forget, he basically sexually assaulted Trish Stratus.
True. Let's also forget that Vince easily moves on from his type because we found out on Raw when somebody came out why he doesn't give a shit about Braun Strowman anymore.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to what I was saying. So after that happens, we go to the SmackDown Tag Team Championship match between the Usos, The Bar, Blackachet, and Shinsuke and Ruru.
Who's?
Oh. So, the Usos do in fact retain their tag titles in this match.
Ooh.
And Lana is at ringside of Rusev's corner, of course. And so basically, this match kind of goes a little bit off the rails, but the summation of the match, yeah. There's really a lot of face versus heel going on in this match.
Uh-huh.
But a large portion of the match is everybody versus The Bar.
Why did everyone consider The Bar the threat?
Because The Bar demonstrated that they were the threat. They specifically, the match started off with Black and Jey Uso in the ring. And Sheamus then tagged himself in and hit Aleister Black with a rolling senton. Rusev got tagged in and hit a clothesline. Then Nakamura tagged in. They double-teamed Aleister Black for all. Ricochet tagged in, flying clothesline. Cesaro tagged in, and Ricochet hit him with a tilt-a-whirl hurricanrana. Cesaro then fought back with an uppercut. And then this happened. So,
Spot Fest?
no. So, Cesaro grabs a hold of Ricochet and applies the Cesaro swing.
I remember this.
He Cesaro swings him about 35 times.
Yeah, but before he picks him up with the swing, he like grabs the legs. He's about to do it, and Sheamus is like, wait, and grabs, I can't remember who, but swings him around into the beats of the bar, and he's like, now do it. And Cesaro starts swinging him as he's doing the 10 beats of the Bower, and someone else comes up. So he tosses him aside, grabs the next guy, sidles over to the next guy, keeps doing it while Cesaro's swinging. He beats the Bower and literally everyone that's not the guy getting swung.
Pretty much, yeah. He hits the while the tilt was going on, he hits the beats of the Baldwin on Rusev, Nakamura, Jey Uso, and Aleister Black.
Yeah.
Which does count as 4 finishers, by the way.
Also, for Cesaro, give him an OMG for that, because that's clearly the OMG version of the giant swing.
That is fair. I will give him that. Anyway, so let's see here what happened at the end of this match. So anyway, there was more pinfalls. Ricochet broke up a pinfall with a standing shooting star press at one point. There was the big pyramid superplex powerbomb combo out of the corner with a lot of guys. Ricochet is the only one that landed on his feet. He went up top while Aleister Black took out Nakamura and Rusev. Ricochet hit a 630 on Sheamus, but the pin got broken up. The Spot Fest kicks off as they all proceed to hit each other with finishers.
As Matt Hardy would say, they all gave in to Spot Monkey addiction.
Pretty much. So they all hit spots on each other. The Spot Fest ended with Sheamus hitting Ricochet with a bro kick. The Usos then came in and hit Sheamus with one super kick, then another super kick, then a double super kick, and then a double Uso splash off the top rope to retain the tag team titles.
The Uso crazy double team.
Yeah. So there you go there. So
I have to admit, did not expect them to actually retain, even though I predicted they would. I was like, yeah, they're probably not. Yeah. And they retained. I was like, what?
So, base for this match, being it was a fatal 4-way style, is again specialty. Therefore, base is 11. Yes. So Rusev gets let's say Lana gets accompaniment first of all.
Yes.
Let's get that out of the way before we forget.
Now, this was a fun match.
It was a fun match. Rusev gets base and 2 moves. It's 13 for Ruru.
Mm-hmm.
Which works out because that evens him out at 240. Shin Shinsuke gets himself 11 and 4 moves. Puts him at 15 points. Is 83 to 88. Let's see. We then have both members of Blackachet get themselves 8 plus 3 moves a pop. Sorry, base plus 3 moves rather. So 14 points to Blackachet.
Okay. I really thought Blackachet was going to win.
Yeah, but no. So 14, that's going to be 304 for Aleister Black. And then let's see here. We've got Sheamus gets base plus 7 moves. Is 18 points to Sheamus.
Fair.
Is 73 and 8. And 8 is 281. And then Cesaro gets base plus 3 moves and OMG points for the Cesaro swing. So that's base plus 8 is 19 points to Cesaro.
Okay.
19 and 5 is 324. And lastly, the Usos. Jay got the pin. So we'll start off with Jimmy Uso, who gets base 11. 6 points for moves is 17. 15 for being on the winning team is 32. And 15 for a retention of the tag titles is 47 points to Jimmy.
Jimmy. All right.
It was 77, 78. It was at 379. And Jay won the match. So Jay will get himself 30 points for winning a pay-per-view match. 10 for winning a specialty match is 40. He will get himself 15 points for the retention is 55. And 3 moves is 58 points to Jay. And he puts him at 391.
All right.
Out of boom. All right. So we do all that. The Hall of Fame class comes out to the stage, and they have a fireworks display.
And X-Pac forgets where he's supposed to be.
Yep. Oops.
For real?
Yeah, because DX was supposed to, pose for the photo, the picture with them in the center, and they're all standing there in the center except for X-Pac, who's off to the side, like shaking hands with the other like Hall of Famers and like playing up the fans, doing crotch chops and shit. And Triple H just kind of looks over and it's like, "Get over here!"
Oh my god.
So yeah, X-Pac pulls a Jim and Jim's the entire Hall of Fame class, basically, or the Hall of Fame photo. And then like runs back over like, "Whoops, my bad."
It happens. Anyway, after all of that, we have a video package looking at the feud between Shane O'Mac and The Miz. And then we go to the Falls Count Anywhere match between Shane O'Mac and The Miz. Reese, I believe you have this one.
Yep.
All right. This was contested under Falls Count Anywhere rules, and that was used. Shane required Greg Hamilton to do his introduction over again because he was not satisfied with it.
What, did he forget to announce him as the greatest ever?
Something. I don't remember exactly what it was. Anyway, Miz comes out with Pyro, talks to his dad at ringside before getting in the ring. The opening bell sounds, and Shane immediately leaves the ring, and Miz chases him around. Shane then attacks Miz's dad in the front row by shoving him out of his chair, then running and making Miz chase him around again. He then fakes the Miz out and starts punching on him. They fight to the announce tables where Shane nails Miz in the face with one of those TV monitors. He then lays Miz on the table and climbs to the top turnbuckle like he's going to go for the big elbow drop through the table spot. But the Miz's dad jumps in the ring after hopping the fan barricade and stands in front of the Miz on the table to block Shane's path. Shane then gets down on the turnbuckle and dares Miz's dad to get in the ring, which he does. Shane then fakes out Mr. Miz and then beats him up for a while and hits it with some body knees a la Brock Lesnar. Miz finally gets in the ring to break it up and starts beating up on Shane. He beats Shane out to ringside, throws him into the crowd. Miz checks on his dad while Shane's at ringside, then calls for some help, and once he yells at the ringside area, the team doctor's like, "What are you waiting for? Get in there and help him!" So once the doctor's helping his dad, Miz goes out to the crowd to continue beating on Shane. He tackles Shane to the crowd, they beat him up some more, they brawl up onto a part of the stage. Shane DDTs Miz on the floor, gets a 2 off it. Miz grabs a chair and hits Shane in the knees with a steel chair and then over the back. They fight over to the string of international announce tables and fight their way through that. Miz smashes some computer equipment over Shane. They throw office chairs around. It's total chaos for the foreign WWE Network announcers. Shane slams Miz through a table for a 2 count. Then they fight up to a platform where Miz hits Shane in the face with a monitor. Shane goes flying backward off this platform via the monitor to the face, lands back first on a golf cart, then bounces off the golf cart and lands on the floor. Interesting spot there.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell is this, jackass?
Yeah. No. Let's be absolutely fair, Jeff. We know what the jackass equivalent of professional wrestling is.
We do?
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Why don't you say it for the folks at home?
Do you want me to say it for the folks at home?
Sure.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to remember something real quick because this is killing me.
Chuck, you don't know.
No, I do. I'm just trying to remember the freaking name of the person that's in the match that I'm thinking of. My brain is just not cooperating today.
Chuck.
I know. Oh, I remember now. So, Jeff, I think we know. No, the Jackass equivalent of a wrestling match is a New Jack scaffolding match.
Yeah. Yeah. That's about right. Or pick a Dean Ambrose pay-per-view match.
Or that. Or a Mick Foley match.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, back on to the program. Miz hits they fight up to the top of another platform. Miz hits a skull-crushing finale on it, gets a 2. Shane then fights back and hits Miz in the head with some production equipment. They then fight up to the top of a very high camera platform that is above the ground. Miz follows Shane up, and Shane realizes he has trapped himself. And Shane gets on his knees trying to apologize and begging for mercy, but Miz, after hesitating for a moment, doesn't buy it and continues beating the shit out of him. Miz then makes a tactical error when he spins Shane around and proceeds to vertically suplex him off of this high platform, where they crash down onto some shit below that clearly was not a disguised crash mat by any means. And because of the nature of how a vertical suplex works in terms of how you hook the person and how it lands, when they landed off the suplex, Shane's right shoulder and part of his arm was on top of the Miz's chest until the referee countered a pinfall and Shane won the match.
And thus, the Miz's in-ring career is effectively over because he just got beat by a nearly 50-year-old man who's not even a wrestling star. Congratulations, Miz. You are trashed here in WWE now.
Yeah. The Miz has dealt with worse. He'll come back from it. So anyway, that was the end of that crazy-ass match. Risa, what are the points looking like?
Okay, so I gave them all base points of 11, 8 for the pay-per-view, and 3 for a specialty match.
Yep.
So then, so the Miz had base 11 plus 16 for moves and all the items used, including chair, table, camera equipment, his finale move, suplex, and so he's got a total of 26.
Okay. So that's come 66, and another 6 is 374.
Oh, I wanted to note that I did give Miz the OMG for slamming Shane all the way down to the golf cart. Is that okay?
That is fine. I would also say he gets an OMG for the superplex off the high camera platform.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Okay.
So why don't you make that 379 then?
Yeah.
All right, and Shane O'Mac.
All right.
Which, by the way, for the record, it's not Shane O'Mac. It's Shane-O''Mac. Just so you know.
It's just how I say it, Shane O'Mac. But anyway.
Okay.
I'll fix that later. So Shane O'Mac gets his base 11 also. And so then he gets 10 for all the stuff that he used. He used the TV monitor. He did his DDT. He used the camera, the road case. And so he got the pinfall for 30 and then also 10 for specialty win. Gives him a total of 61 points.
All right, so 61 and 1 is going to become 66. So therefore, that's going to put him 316, since I just whipped your ass.
Shane360 says, I got lucky as hell.
That too. So we clear this out, and we move on to the Women's Tag Team Championship match.
Uh-huh.
Featuring the Boston Hug Connection defending against the Iconics, defending against Pinup Strong, defending against Nia and Tamina. Paige comes out to do commentary for this match. Paige here. And Bret Hart walks Natalya and Beth down the ramp and then leaves.
Woohoo!
I'm assuming Bret didn't stick around because he had to go wrestle a jobber at a parking lot brawl for trying to attack him during the Hall of Fame ceremony.
I would have much rather watched that than the travesty that was the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Agreed. Oh, Brad. Anyway. So Tamina starts off strong, clearing the ring and throwing her power around. Nia also runs in, but Beth and Natalya take her down and slam her into the ring steps on the floor. Payne and Bayley go at it in the ring. Sasha tags in and there's a double team. Billy gets a tag now, and the Iconics double team Sasha in return. Beth and Bayley get tags in and start going at it, but Billy tags herself in by slapping Bayley on the back, and then pummels Beth while she's down. Payne tags in for a double team on Beth. The Iconics try to double team her again, but Beth reverses into a suplex on both of them. That's an OMG. Natalya tags in, hits the heart attack on Billy Kay. Sasha then tags in, and Beth and Natalya double team her, but Bayley runs in to break it up.
Is that Beth with an OMG?
Yeah, she double suplexed both Iconics simultaneously.
Let me add that.
It's a double finisher. Double finisher is always an OMG.
Mm-hmm. Well, not
Sasha
always, as we'll see, but we'll get to that.
Sasha tags in, and Beth and Natalya try to double team her. Bayley breaks this up. Bayley and Sasha then double team Beth, knock Natalya out to ringside. Sasha applies the bank statement on Beth Phoenix, but she manages to escape. Natalya tags in and tries to put Sasha in the sharpshooter, but Bayley runs in. Natalya drops her, then applies a sharpshooter on Bayley and Sasha at the same time. That's an OMG. Tamina runs in and boots Natalya in the face to break that hold. Then Nia runs in and takes Beth Phoenix out. Nia and Tamina drop the Iconics, then slam Bayley and Sasha down on the mat. Sasha and Bayley fire up and drop everybody at ringside. Back in the ring, Bayley hits a flying elbow onto Beth Phoenix, and then Sasha follows it up with a frog splash on her to get a 2. Everyone brawls out to the ringside area. When the dust settles, Beth and Bayley are left fighting on the turnbuckle. Beth then glam slams Bayley off the turnbuckle and goes for the pinfall, but Peyton Royce runs in, throws Beth out of the ring, and then Billy Kay jumps in and pins Bayley to steal the 3 count.
Wow.
Yep.
Wait, so who got the pin?
Billy Kay.
Right. Should be a hang on, I might have to make some adjustments here. Oh, I don't need that anymore. Done. Okay, so that's correct. All right, so let me make sure she did the method. So 50. $91, $2, $3. Yeah, okay. So she did not do that right. 90. Okay, that is now correct. I think.
You think?
No, that is incorrect because she should not be getting points. You said Billy was the one that got the pin, yeah?
Yes.
So you do not get those points. Yep. Okay, now that's correct. Yeah, she messed up Peyton and Billy's points. So I had to correct them. Okay, we're good.
Hang on a sec. we have an alternate problem.
Okay.
That wasn't Tiff's match.
Oh?
That's
That
Reese's
doesn't
match.
necessarily make it a problem since it's already done.
It makes it a problem because the match that was supposed to be done is now not done.
But I think that's where Tiff may have made the mistake and didn't do the women's battle.
No, because she still only had 3 matches on her document.
Oh, gotcha.
So there's still another match that hasn't been scored.
Do we know which one?
I don't know. What does Tiff have there, Jeff?
Women's tag match, Angle versus Corbin and Orton. Which we already did.
Okay, let's see here. Where's the stupid thing? So go through that again.
She has the women's tag match.
Okay.
Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin.
Okay.
Orton.
Yeah.
That's it. And then obviously the Battle Royal, which she didn't do.
Right. In that case, she was supposed to do Reigns and McIntyre.
Okay, can we just score that on the fly? It's not like that's a terribly hard match to score.
No, not really. We could probably score that on the fly. But that's the one we're going to be short is Reigns and McIntyre.
That's fine. I lost, and the points don't matter to you anyway, so we're good.
That is true. So anyway, points for this match.
Who do you want them from?
You.
Okay. You can tell me if Tiff screwed up anywhere since you actually scored the match as well.
I'm getting the inclination that she did not.
Well, she screwed up Peyton and Billy, but I fixed it.
And also, I didn't give extra points for, like, double sharpshooter, like...
The OMG stuff, that's fair.
Yeah, nor did she, but I added those in.
Okay.
So we'll start with Nia and Tamina, the team that Risa hates.
Fair enough.
Because I don't care how to say their names, right?
So we'll start with Nia, the not so unstoppable force.
I'm on Tamina.
Or immovable force. You're on Tamina? Okay, we'll go Tamina first.
Okay.
So 8 for being in the match, 3 for a specialty match. Wait, I guess it is a specialty match, yeah.
It's a fatal 4-way match.
Yeah. And 4 moves is 15 points to Tamina.
All right, so that would be 15.
Oh, wait. It's a specialty match. Shit. Okay, hold on. I got to fix Billy's points because she fucking forgot that too. Because it's...
Well, to be fair, it wasn't even her match. Give her credit for doing any of it.
Wait a minute. Okay, no, that's completely wrong. I mean, no, so she did, and she did it wrong. That's actually... Here, I can just modify that, and it's even better. Specialty win. Minus 10 points. Okay. So, Nia Jax. Ooh.
Yep, go ahead.
So 8 for being in the pay-per-view, 3 for specialty, which is the base 11, and 3 points is 14 points to Nia Jax.
288 then.
Yeah.
Next.
All right. Pin up strong.
Which one
We
you
did
want?
all the fucking work. Well, aside from Peyton and Billy, but pretty much did all the fucking work.
I'm already in Natalia, so start there.
All right. So Natalia. Base 11, bunch of moves, and an OMG, 22 points to Natalia.
I have 95. 297.
All right. Beth Phoenix. Base 11, bunch of moves, 1 escape with the bank statement, and the OMG double suplex, 23 points to the Glamazon.
Yes, it's 78, and 3 is 81.
Boss and Hug.
When do you want to start with? I'm down here. Let's do boss first.
All right, Boss. 11 plus an evasion of the Glam Slam, and 2 moves is 16 points to the Boss.
Becomes 88, becomes 494.
All right, let's go to the Hug.
All right.
Base 11 plus 1 move is 12 points to the Hug.
Also, can I take a moment to say, by the way, while we're talking about Bailey, somebody in the Wrestlemania entrance department fucked up.
Okay.
Royally. Because Bailey and Sasha came out for the entrance. And half of Bailey's waving inflatable arm flailing tube men did not go up, and the other half were like hanging over.
Wow.
Like a few of them went up finally, but like most of them didn't inflate. They were like caught. One of them was like hanging over here. Like it looked completely shit. So whoever was supposed to send them, I don't know if the wind was too strong because they were in an outdoor arena or what the hell happened. But that entrance was fucked.
Well, that's not the first time they fucked over somebody's entrance at WrestleMania.
No,
I could tell you a story about that.
you can.
WrestleMania 19 in Seattle.
Oh yes,
I-
you
I was
worked there.
there.
That's why you're wearing the T-shirt.
Yes. So, Shawn Michaels. They gave him guns. That did not work.
I feel like that's probably a good thing. Didn't Brian Pillman establish why live ammo on TV is a bad thing?
Oh, no, these were firework guns, like fireworks launchers. He was supposed to come and shoot them into the air.
Oh, I see.
Half of them did not work. And Shawn was like, fuck. I just dropped them and kept going. But yeah, so they completely fucked over his WrestleMania entrance.
Oops.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So Shawn knows all about having shit that doesn't work.
Oh, there's a really dark joke here.
Oh, don't go there.
You know what I was talking about.
Oh, don't go there. No. So we'll go to the winners, and I'm going to control you for this one, Jim. We're going to go to Peyton Royce first.
Question.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, Risa?
Sorry, I just wanted to interject for a second. On Bailey's behalf, I believe she got 2 moves in that, and decanted 1 move. So she got the elbow drop, which is in her moveset, and the sliding clothesline, which is in her moveset.
Okay, so add another point to Bailey then.
We're 90. Evens are out. That's good.
Thank you.
All right. Peyton Royce, one half of the most annoying tag team of the world. One half of the world's most annoying tag team. There we go. That's better.
Oh. Speaking of fucked up pay-per-view entrances, going to the not dark joke, how about the time that the Pyro set Undertaker's coat on fire?
Yeah. Or if we're talking about non-pay-per-view entrances, how about the time that the Pyro set Jeff Hardy's face on fire?
Yeah, that too. To be fair though, that was part of a work.
Was it? I thought that was actually kind of legitimate, and then they turned it into a work when Jeff Hardy was okay.
That could be. I don't know.
So I'm fairly certain the way Jeff Hardy tells it, it was a legitimate fuck up, and he got blasted in the face with fire.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, points for the winning team.
Like I said, Peyton Royce.
Yeah, ready?
Half of the world's most annoying tag team.
Iconic!
Yeah. In the ring, they're okay. Outside of the ring, they're annoying as fuck. So Peyton gets 8 for being at the pay-per-view, 3 for specialty, base 11. Gets 15 for being on the winning team, 30 for winning a title. 2 moves, total of 59 points to Peyton Royce.
59, that's going to be 99. What's her, 59. Yeah, that's exactly 200 points. How about that?
Billie Kay getting 4 more points than she deserves.
Okay.
Base 11, 10 for the specialty win, 30 for winning a title, 30 for actually winning the match.
Yep.
And 2 moves, 83 points to Billie Kay.
Did you remember the 10 specialty win?
Yes. That was the second thing I said.
Okay, I didn't hear it. What was the total?
83.
83. So that would be 83, 93, 103, 113 would be 213 plus 5 is 218 points.
Did we get that right, Risa?
I don't know what moves Billie Kay did. But
The double teams.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then you're good.
Cool. Rolling on.
Because let's be honest, they can't do anything but double team moves. That's literally the only move points they got the entire match. They won the match. It's like, really? No solo moves, you won the match.
All right. We have now a video package of the SmackDown main event feud. And we then have ourselves the SmackDown main event match for the WWE Championship. The new Daniel Bryan versus Kofi Kingston.
I need to go back and watch the full match because I'm guessing this was probably match of the night.
It's a pretty damn good match. I watched it earlier.
Because I saw the end of it, and the ending was fantastic.
Yeah, it was a pretty good match. There was a lot of back and forth, a lot of kicking out of each other's moves. And Big E and Xavier came out with Kofi. Big E had this box at ringside with a bow, and took over. He said, "We got a present for you. It's for after the match, after you win. We're gonna put it over here," and they do so. And Rowan comes out with Bryan, of course. The opening bell sounds, and they go back and forth. Kofi hits a drop kick. They fight outside the ring. Kofi suicide dives it. There's almost the entire SmackDown roster, the face contingent of it anyway, is watching on a monitor. I'm not giving them points for it because I don't care.
Fuck you.
Yeah, they get back in the ring. Bryan rolls back outside. No. You want to talk fuck people that used to be on the roster? Random interjection. Saw a commercial the other day. Brodus Clay now has a show on one of the Fox News channels.
Really?
Yeah, Tyrus. I guess Tyrus is either his real name or he's still using that from when he was in TNA. But it's Tyrus, and I believe Brittany was the name of the woman that's the co-host with him. It's called UnPC.
Okay then.
So that's a thing.
Well, if it's like a news show or on a news channel, that's probably actually his name. Then I would imagine.
I would think so.
Because usually, if you're doing legitimate news stuff, they use your real name.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyway, going back into the match, Kofi fights out, hits some kicks. Bryan tries to come back with a suplex, but Kofi counters out with a flying clothesline. Boom drop gets a 2. Bryan rolls out to the apron. Baseball slide. And I feel like somebody should get an OMG for this, but I don't know who, so somebody please inform me. So Kofi proceeds to perform a suicide dive. Said dive was Kofi runs at the ropes, then jumps up and does a springboard off the top rope out of the ring.
Okay.
As he's on his way down, the shit was supposed to be that Daniel Bryan moved out of the way and redirected Kofi. It was more Bryan moved way too early, and it didn't quite look as good as it was supposed to. But in either case, Bryan moved, and Kofi, from the height of springboarding off the top rope, slammed into the announce table.
Did Bryan put his hands on Kofi when he moved out of the way to kind of move him toward the table?
He put his hands up to do so. That was clearly the intent, but he was clearly about 2 feet away from actually touching Kofi.
If the spot was that Bryan was supposed to shove him into the table, I would give it to Bryan since Kofi actually saw fit to go through with the spot.
Yeah, the idea was supposed to be that Bryan was there. Bryan was supposed to move out of the way at the last second and like swing around so that Kofi would go through the table. But it was also fairly obvious that in order to try to avoid something going wrong, he was staying far enough away from Kofi to not actually touch him. But either way, Kofi hit abdomen first on the edge of the announce table, and that did not look like it felt good.
Yeah, I would give it to Bryan since that was the intent of the spot.
Okay, then I will give that point. I will add that to points then.
Yeah. And I don't blame Bryan for going wide berth, trying not to, put himself on the shelf again.
Yeah, that's fair. Anyway, so Kofi hit the announce table, and that looked like it hurt. Back in the ring, Bryan hits some kicks and then a flying knee. Gets a 2. Bryan controls the pace for a while. Kofi finally gets up with strikes. They trade small package pin attempts. Kofi connects with another kick. Bryan goes down. Bryan tries to come back with a running knee. Kofi ducks it and rolls Daniel Bryan up for a 2 count. Kofi attempts to do an SOS, but as Kofi, technically speaking, Kofi does hit the SOS, but as they're landing on the mat, Bryan shifts his weight and spins Kofi into the label lock. And Kofi struggles and manages to get to the bottom rope. Bryan starts laying into Kofi with body kicks. Kofi hulks up and dares Bryan to kick him more, like, come on, kick me more. And then he and Kofi exchange kicks. Bryan manages to knock him down, but Kofi blocks a kick and then hits a reverse inverted DDT.
Okay, then.
Whatever that is. Bryan rolls out of the ring for a breather. Kofi follows. Bryan then hides behind Eric Rowan. as Eric Rowan stands there intimidating Kofi. So Big E and Xavier are like, well, fuck that shit, and hit Eric Rowan with a midnight hour.
Not exactly.
Okay.
Unless they hit him twice with it.
Oh.
Because I saw the midnight hour. If they only hit one, that's not what happened.
Okay.
Because he didn't exactly hide behind Eric Rowan. He got outside the ring. Kofi went after him, and Eric Rowan stepped in front of Bryan to intimidate Kofi. And Kofi just kind of stood there, and he he got into Kofi's face and like hit Kofi, and that's when Xavier and fucking Big E were like, no, fuck that. Xavier ran up the steel steps and launched himself off the steel steps. Like, he went, ah! And Rowan caught him in midair and fucking, like, tossed Xavier aside, like, over the announcer's table.
Mm-hmm.
And then Big E came in and tried to attack him, and Rowan, like, kind of slapped him aside, too, and, like, hit him with something.
Okay.
And he was like, oh, and at that point, you know, he had his back kind of half turned to Kofi because he was looking at Big E. And as he turned back around, Kofi came up, trouble in paradise, boom, oh, and that staggered Rowan. And at that point, Xavier came running off the table, or no, not running off the table. Big E like stood up and literally stood up into Rowan and picked him up on his shoulders. And Xavier came running off the table that Eric Rowan tossed him onto. Midnight hour.
Nice.
And then they staggered back because they were still reeling from the actual assaults. And then with free laneage, Kofi went after Bryan and got him back in the ring.
I feel like something got missed there because if Rowan hit Kofi, that should have been a DQ.
Maybe he didn't actually hit him then. Maybe he was about to hit him, and then Xavier came up and was like, no, don't hit my friend.
That's probably what happened. Anyway. So
or
all
the
that
ref wasn't stupid enough to call a DQ in a title match.
Or that anyway. So that shit all happens. On the floor, back in the ring, Kofi hits Bryan with a right hand, misses a kick. Bryan hits a running knee, gets a two off it again. Bryan starts getting frustrated and grabs Kofi by the arms and stomps on his head repeatedly, then applies the bell lock again. Kofi fights out again, pummels Bryan on the mat, stomps on Bryan's head repeatedly, trouble in paradise, and we have a new WWE champion.
Yeah.
The crowd goes wild. Xavier and Big E jump in the ring, hugging Kofi and celebrating. They then leave the ring and go over to where Bryan has placed his title on a velvet platform. Xavier picks up Bryan's title and kind of looks at it like, nah, and throws it aside. Big E then removes a sheet from the velvet table, revealing the actual proper WWE Championship, which got a great pop from the crowd.
Which has Kofi side plates on it.
It does, conveniently. And then they picked up the belt, brought it in the ring, gave it to Kofi, and Big E brought the president in the ring. Kofi's kids, who were in the front row, jumped the barricade and came in the ring. And opening the box, they revealed Kofi Kingston WWE Champion t-shirts that they had pre-made up for the occasion. And they put them on and handed one to Kofi's kids, and they threw one into the crowd, and celebrations reigned.
Yeah, hilariously, everyone but Kofi got the shirt. So what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, Kofi didn't have a shirt. I'm like, wait, Kofi, you didn't keep one for yourself? You idiot.
Yeah.
Like, how fucked up is that? The champ doesn't get his own shirt. He chose not to take his own shirt. I'm like, it's your shirt. Take it.
It happens. Anyway. So we then have ourselves points for the match. So let's see.
Yes, which you scored.
Yes, quite. So, Eric Rowan gets 6 points for interfering in the match.
Yeah.
And 5 for accompaniment. It's 11 points to Rowan. Becomes 248. And then we're going to have ourselves Big E and Xavier are each going to get 6 points for interfering and 1 point for the midnight hour.
And 5 for accompaniment.
And 5 for accompaniment. It's 12 points each to Xavier and Big E. $293. Xavier gets 12, and that puts him at 252. All right. We then have Daniel Bryan, who is going to get 8 points for being in a pay-per-view match. He is going to get 6 moves. It's 14. He's going to get 9 points for evasions. He has 23. And 5 for the OMG table spot. Is 28, if I've counted that correctly. 28 points to Daniel Bryan. And becomes 29, 669. All right. And Kofi Kingston gets himself 50 points for winning the WWE Championship. He gets himself 30 points for winning this match, is 80. He gets 8 for being in the match, is 88. He also gets 9 for reversals, is 97. And 5 points for moves is 102 points to Kofi Kingston.
Okay, then.
370, which puts him at 470. All right. That was my last match, thank God.
Does Eric Rowan have a choke toss as a signature move?
Possibly, I don't know. I feel like he does.
Because when Xavier came off the stairs, he grabbed him by the throat to stop him. And so I think he choke tossed him over the announcer's table.
He might have. I don't know if that's a move. I know it's a face grab that he does for his finisher.
Yeah, he has a choke slam. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he had a toss. That's fair. Whatever. Moving on.
So it's not a choke slam. It's a face slam.
Fair.
Anyway, so after that we cut backstage to Alexa Bliss, who walks up to a door that's labeled Trainer's Room Mortuary. She walks in to see Colin Jost and Michael Che, who are holding ice packs and generally beat up from the Braun Strowman match on the pre-show. And she consoles them, telling them that Braun is actually a really nice guy. Don't take it personally. And tells them not to worry about anything here because they're in excellent hands. Alexa walks away as the 2 doctors behind them turn around to reveal themselves to be Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. Scott Hall says, I think he says, "Hey, yo." And Kevin Nash snaps a rubber glove asking if they should start with the prostate exam.
Were they wearing NWO t-shirts?
No, they were wearing doctor's coats.
Oh. Did Kevin Nash have long hair or short hair?
He had short hair.
Okay, so he kept his hair short. Fair enough.
And they had surgical masks on, which they pulled down after they turned around. So, random NWO appearance, all kinds of good things like that there. Anyway, we then went back out to the ring for a United States title match where Samoa Joe beat Rey Mysterio in, I'm not joking, 58 seconds.
Yeah, I'll go over that. First of all, okay, how many years has Rey Mysterio wrestled for the WWE?
A lot.
Yeah, they finally thought to dress Rey Mysterio up as Mysterio. After how many fucking years? It's in his name, WWE.
Yep.
Because he literally came out in the green with the purple cape and everything, minus the fishbowl, which kind of disappointed me. I was like, oh, they should have given him the fishbowl for entrance attire.
Yeah.
But they dressed him up as Mysterio, finally.
Of course, gotta get that Spider-Man Far From Home fandom.
Apparently. But yeah, kind of fucking pointless match. Rey Mysterio with offense early, hits a tornado DDT, goes for the 619, tries to do something off the top rope.
West Coast pop.
Huh?
West Coast pop.
Oh, is that what that was? I thought it was a missile drop kick.
Oh, it might have been. I didn't actually see it, but given that it was after the 619, it does say here Ray goes up top for a missile drop kick. So fair enough.
Fair.
You were
I
correct. Never
still
mind.
gave Joe a counter for that. It's still one of his moves.
Yeah.
He literally slaps Ray out of midair, coquino clutch, and Ray passes out.
This was we need a U.S. title match, but Ray's slightly possibly injured.
Well, he wasn't that injured if he was able to do a tornado DDT and a 619.
Yeah.
He looked fine to me, but what do I know?
Yeah. People can look fine. That doesn't mean they are fine. I point out to you that Triple H has done a pedigree with torn quads.
That's true, but that was also his own fucking fault.
I know, but the point still is, he still did the move and fought off the pain to continue the match. It didn't look like he was that hurt. We only found out afterward that he had a torn quad when he did it.
Fair. But yeah, so I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So 10 points to Ray for showing up.
Yep. Yeah, was Dominic there?
I don't know. The match went by too fast. I don't think they gave him enough time to look at the crowd.
Fair enough. Points.
10 points to Ray for showing up. If Dominic was there, they didn't make a point of showing him. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Okay. And Joe.
And Joe, 62 points for squashing Rey Mysterio like a bug.
Fair enough. That's going to be 606, actually.
Yeah, my guess is they plan to redo this feud at a later date and use Dominic for that. And they didn't want to waste Dominic on a 50-second squash match.
Yeah. My guess is it turned into a 50-second squash match because they knew that Ray wasn't in the best shape for competing, and they realized that they overbooked this show like they always fucking do.
Yeah.
So, anyway. So, here we go to live scoring, because we see a video package looking at Roman Reigns' return to the WWE after leukemia, and the feud leading up to his match tonight with a Scottish psychopath, Drew McIntyre. So, Roman gets a big-ass pyro display on his entrance, while McIntyre got a drum band playing for his. Reigns starts off strong with a Samoa drop and pummels Drew in the corner. Drew fights out with a spine buster. They fight to the apron where Roman Reigns hits a famouser on the apron. Back in the ring.
Famouser?
It says he hit a famouser.
Okay, then.
Back in the I think it says he hits a famasser, but back in the ring, Drew turns it around with a headbutt with the what does he call that headbutt? The Glasgow Kiss headbutt. There we go. And a suplex gets a 2. He misses a shot, and Reigns clotheslines him out to the ringside area. Reigns goes for a kick, but misses it, and Drew comes back with a suplex on the floor. I'm assuming that was the drive-by kick he went for that he missed.
You're not recording the moves, are you?
No.
Should you not be recording the moves?
It's not that long of a match.
Okay,
I'll get it
fair.
in a minute. Back in the ring, Drew takes Reigns up to the top. Reigns fights back, hangs Drew up in the Tree of Woe. Drew sits right up and suplexes Reigns from the turnbuckle to the mat. Drew then slaps Reigns in the face. Reigns hulks up and hits a big boot, knocks Drew out, and then runs around and hits a drive-by, then hits a Samoan drop at ringside, then throws Drew in the ring, misses the first Superman punch, hits the second Superman punch, and wraps things up with a spear. Roman Reigns gets a win.
Fair. Poor Drew.
Yep. He was on SmackDown this week. I'm wondering if that's a shade of things to come.
Who was on SmackDown?
Drew.
Oh.
Which, there was a hilarious thing where apparently he was in the main event in a 6-man tag match with The Bar against The New Day, and it was pointed out in a number of articles that Drew McIntyre was wrestling. They went to a commercial break. The Bar got tagged in. They came out for the commercial break, and Drew McIntyre was not seen on camera for the duration of the show.
Huh.
He seemingly disappeared in the middle of a match, and king of pulling things out of his ass, Dave Meltzer, is like, well, they want to protect Drew and didn't want him to be seen getting the loss with The Bar.
Huh.
It's like, no, I think you're just a fucking idiot.
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know what happened. Anyway, in this case, Drew McIntyre is going to get some points for this match. Let's see. Drew McIntyre gets 8 points for being in this match. What else? He gets a Spinebuster point.
Did Drew get injured maybe and get carted out during the commercial break?
It's possible. Let's see. That's 9. Glasgow Kiss Headbutt is 10. Suplex on the ringside floor, I'm going to assume, is 11. And 3 for evading a Superman punch is 14 points to Drew.
All right.
One. And then Roman Reigns is going to get himself 30 points for winning a pay-per-view match, 8 for being in his 38. Let's see. Samoan drop. I don't think the Famouser is his move. I'm not going to count it. So let's see. Samoan drop. And face. Big boot. Drive-by kick. Samoan drop. Superman punch. And a spear is going to be 6 moves. That's going to be 44 points to Roman.
Okay, then.
Or it's 168. All right. After that match, we see an ad for Money in the Bank.
Right.
And let's see here.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm trying to get to the right spot here. Rusev and Lana had a Snickers commercial.
Okay.
We then have the screen kicks on, and we see Elias with a drum set playing on the screen. Then he appears on another screen with a piano and plays that. Then the lights come up in the ring, revealing the real Elias with his guitar in his usual position. And he talks about how special tonight is because he's going to play an all Elias concert with the recordings of him on drums and piano while he plays the guitar live. He reminds everybody that WWE stands for
Walked with Elias.
I said WWE stands for
Wicca. No.
Walk with Elias. Anyway, it tells everyone to please silence their cell phones.
Hold your applause.
And shut your mouths. For a special WrestleMania song. And he actually does play a brief bit of this with his other 2 selves, and it actually sounds pretty good.
Quick aside, have you ever heard Elias actually sing?
I don't believe so.
He is damned good. There's actually a clip from a live show of him and Finn Balor. I can't remember now what they were singing, but he was like, "Come on, Finn, sing this part with me." And you'll sing this part. And Finn was like, "No, I'm not going to sing that part." He's like, "Come on, man." And he starts singing the song. So Finn kind of has no choice but to actually sing the part. And to Finn's credit, he's actually not bad.
Mm-hmm.
But he starts singing the part, and then Elias cracks him over the head with the guitar.
Nice.
But yeah, that's the one time Elias actually tried to sing, and he's actually pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, you should go check it out. It's on YouTube.
Cool. So he's interrupted by black and white footage on the big screen, and the footage shows Babe Ruth at the World Series game, and the news report about how Babe in that famous World Series game where Babe Ruth actually called his shot. And I came to bat and called the shot for the home run, and then actually hit the home run.
Okay, then.
It's an incredibly famous Yankees game. This then led into Word Life. This is basic thugonomics. Word life. Word life. And out came the doctor of thugonomics, wearing a Babe Ruth Yankees jersey, his chains, a backward baseball cap, among other things.
That must have been the most painful thing in Cena's entire career.
Yeah.
to wear that Yankees jersey because he's a boy from Beantown wearing a Babe Ruth jersey. That must have burned him to his very soul.
Probably.
Poor Cena. You've now been disowned by your entire hometown. Congratulations.
Yeah. Anyway.
As I pointed out, the only thing worse would have been to have Daniel Bryan come out with the Yankees jersey, because that would have totally burned him through his soul and out the other side. Because we here in the Pacific Northwest fucking hate the Yankees. Fuck them to hell.
Sorry, Jim.
Yeah.
Yes, we are the eternal rivalry with the Yankees, the Seattle Mariners.
Anyway,
it's a rivalry that never ends.
So John Cena proceeds to cut a rapping promo.
Fantastic rapping promo.
Fantastic rapping promo on Elias, where John Cena makes jokes about making a heel turn and about bringing out the golden shovel to bury Elias's push. And all the old school jokes. And he ends Roberts talking about how there's not going to be an AA tonight, but you're going to get an FU. And he proceeds to attack Elias, hit the 5-knuckle shuffle, pump up his sneakers old school, and then deliver an FU.
I also love the crack he made about Elias playing with himself. I thought that was awesome.
That was funny.
And his nuts.
Yep. Which was a great promo because he held up a bag of pistachios, which, if you know anything, John Cena is the voice of the animated elephant in the pistachio commercials.
Which I did not know until Jim told me this.
Indeed.
Poor Elias.
Yep. So, that's a promo to Elias and John Cena.
He called him a little piece of shit, too.
He did. An excellent promo. It's on YouTube. Everybody should go watch it.
Mm-hmm. Also, could they not find a Babe Ruth jersey that actually fit John Cena?
Yeah.
Because John Cena was like swimming in that jersey. And that's hard to do because John Cena's a big dude.
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, he also didn't have most of it buttoned.
True.
Let's see. So, does John Cena get an OMG for showing up as the Doctor of Thugonomics?
I thought we were going to give him an OMG for the entire damn thing.
Okay, fine. OMG and promo then. 9 points to Cena. So that's going to be 4 minutes. Puts him at 105. So we then see a video package for the next match.
Wait, who has Cena?
Tiff.
Oh, okay.
And then it's the video package of the history of the next match, and we then move on to Triple H versus Batista.
Yes, this was my favorite match of the night.
If Triple H loses, he must retire from in-ring competition match, which was apparently a dual stipulation because the night after this happened and he lost, Batista announced his retirement from pro wrestling.
Or it's just Batista quitting again.
Or that. He does tend to do that.
And this was a no-holds-barred match.
It was. Triple H came to the ring in a fucking Mad Max car.
He literally had a Mad Max Fury Road entrance if you actually bothered to look at its like Titantron, which was totally like a Fury Road like parody.
I have not even seen that movie, so.
Yeah, that Titantron was literally ripped out of that with Triple H in the lead car.
Okay then.
And then the side of the screen opened up to reveal that was like a garage door kind of thing, and then he came out on the back of that Roadster.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Yeah. Also, Triple H has lost a lot of muscle tone in his aging years.
Yep.
He's not as big as he used to be. Batista's in far better shape than Triple H.
Yeah, but Batista still looks puny compared to Batista from back in 2002.
He does, but he still looks like in great shape. Are we scoring Batista? Because I scored him just in case.
We can. I'll add him to the bottom. At this point, I don't know if we're actually going to assign the bottom people for points for this. We're going to have to see what the spread looks like.
Okay, well, I won't score Batista if you don't want me to, because it's just one match. I don't know if it's worth it.
Well, Batista's already got 24 points for the promos down here, so do it.
Okay. Because I gave him -3 for a minor botch, because apparently Batista forgot how to get in the wrestling ring.
Oops.
Did you see this?
No.
So Batista comes down, he does just boom, after he gets out of the car and stuff. It was a badass looking entrance. He all stalked down the ring looking badass, climbs up. Apparently forgot how to actually lift his legs and get in the ring. Because he tried to, step through the ropes, but instead of actually lifting his legs to go through the ropes, the front half of his body went through first, and he almost Randy Orton DDT'd himself into the ring mat.
Oops.
Yeah. He almost ended the match before it began. But he recovered and, still looked like an idiot trying to get in the ring. So, Batista, maybe you should have practiced how to get in the ring before doing this match.
Apparently. Yeesh.
Yeah. So, match begins, and Batista beats the shit out of Triple H, tosses him out in the ring, starts tossing him around outside the ring, and then makes the biggest mistake of his entire career. He tosses Triple H over the barricade into the timekeepers area, where apparently for some reason WWE had a mechanics toolbox stashed.
Yeah.
So Triple H grabbed the toolbox, stood up, and cracked Batista upside the head with said toolbox.
It's probably the toolbox they used to put the ring together.
Maybe, but it seemed like it was a mechanics, and I'll tell you why in a minute, because Triple H climbs back over the barricade, opens up the toolbox, and tosses all the contents out, picks up a chain, and begins to whip Batista like a government mule.
Okay.
And then he tosses the chain inside, goes back, and picks up what looks like kind of like a monkey wrench kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
But I believe it was Michael Cole who said they're called channel locks.
Okay.
And he said it's like a mechanics tool. It's made for wheels or some shit, which I was like, oh, it's a mechanics toolbox.
Yeah.
So Triple H, and I gave him an OMG with this, takes the channel locks, walks over to Batista, who is trying to get up, use the steel steps to get up, pins Batista to the steel steps, and applies said channel locks to Batista's fingers, trying to break them.
Ouch.
Yeah. And they do a spot where it looks like he broke. They're like, oh my god, his fingers are broken. And credit to Shawn Michaels, who was on commentary for this, for doing an excellent job on commentary. So he does that, allows Batista to get in the ring as he goes back to the well, or should I say, the toolbox once again, tosses the shit down, picks up a chair, gets in the ring, smacks Batista across the back with the chair a couple times, tosses the chair out, goes back to the toolbox, picks up needle nose pliers. Now, I should point out, Batista came down to the ring with a nose ring in his nose. You can see where this is going. Triple H gets back in the ring. They're like, what's he going to do with the needle nose pliers? And their first instinct, of course, is he's going to try to go for the fingers again. He's going to use the pliers to try to break the fingers. Triple H pins Batista to the mat, kind of bends over him, and the mic can pick up Triple H's voice. And he goes, that's a fine-looking nose ring, Batista. And that's when the commentator's like, oh, shit, he's going for the nose ring. To which he does, in fact, grab said nose ring with the pliers and rip it out of Batista's nose.
Ow.
Yes, I gave him an OMG for that, because now Batista has a bleeding nose and a hole. So, yeah, that happened. Of course, after that, Batista, being the wounded animal, got all pissed off and beat the shit out of Triple H. He hit him with a chair, hit him with steel steps. He started, he hit him on tables 3 times. 2 times on one table, 1 time on another table. They did not break the announcers' tables, so I did not give him table spot points for that. I began to wonder if they just forgot to make them breakable until I realized what they were setting up, because the 3rd table was breakable. And so Triple H kind of counters him as the fight progresses and actually gets Batista on the middle table, the 2nd table. Oh, I remember what. So Batista sets up stairs on the left table, and he gets Triple H up there too. And he goes up, and his intent was to walk up the stairs and Batista bomb him from standing on the stairs through the second table or onto the second table, because obviously it wasn't designed to break. And Triple H countered with a back body drop onto said second table. And then Triple H shoved the stairs aside and turned around as Batista tried to get up. And Triple H ran at him, speared him off the second table, and threw the third one.
Yep.
So I gave him an OMG for that because table spot.
Yep, that makes sense.
And the fight just keeps going. It's just a knockdown, drag out fight. Triple H goes for sledgehammers, actually pulls out 2 and picks up 1. Gets in the ring and keeps trying to use a sledgehammer, but Batista counters it and tries to use a sledgehammer against Triple H, who also counters it. So it's a counter fest of who's going to get to use the sledgehammer. The answer is nobody. Nobody gets to use the sledgehammer. And I believe... Oh, no, I guess he didn't. Okay. So Triple H actually does a Batista bomb on Batista onto the steel steps at one point.
Yep.
He does also manage to hit a pedigree at one point, which Batista kicks out of.
That was right after the power bomb spot.
Right. Oh, that's right. Yeah. Batista, to his credit,
because right after the kick out, Corey Graves was like, "I have no idea how the hell Batista survived that power bomb on the stairs to get him to even take the pedigree, let alone to kick out of a pinfall off of that."
Yeah. But that's after countering a pedigree, and then Batista, to his credit, actually pulls off every single one of his signature moves.
Yep.
He hits 2 shoulder thrusts, power clothesline, the air raid siren off of a counter. The spear, the spinebuster, he does hit a Batista bomb, which Triple H kicks out of. And it's at this point that Ric Flair comes the blue fuck out of nowhere, picks up the second sledgehammer that was on the ground, and slides it into Triple H as Batista's trying to pick up the other one that they've been fighting over. And Ric Flair walks around the ring to get Batista's face. And, he's like destroy him, Triple H, or something, like trying to tell Triple H to destroy him, and Batista just kind of looks at him. He's like, oh yeah, watch this, Rick, watch this. He stands up with the sledgehammer, turns around, and tries to use it, and Triple H runs, and at this point, the steel steps are in the ring after that, the Batista bomb off the steps and stuff, and Triple H runs and jumps off the steps and just cracks him across the head with the sledgehammer, drops the sledgehammer, pedigree 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
Middle of the ring. It's a hell of a match. And Triple H and Ric Flair retreat up the ramp.
Yep.
So, yeah, this was a fucking brutal match.
Indeed.
And poor Batista, man, getting that nose ring ripped out of his nose. Jesus.
Yeah. That cannot feel good.
No, it can't. Hopefully Hunter gave him the ring back so he could put it back in his nose.
Well, doesn't let us know his heel first, but
yeah, so gross.
Yeah, that too. And as it was either Corey or Cole, I think it was Corey, said after that happened, man, that can't be good for Batista's movie career. How is he going to be a Guardian of the Galaxy after that? Like, you got a point. He now has a big ass hole in his nose and a lot of blood loss. Not that he wears the nose ring as Drax, but still, like now it's even worse. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I love this match. This was a great match.
Sounds like it.
So, let's go to the animal first.
Alrighty. Boop. Got him.
All right. So, we have a base 11 for the match.
Yep.
3 for countering a pedigree. 6 for weapon use of the chair and the steel steps. 7 moves. And -3 for forgetting how to get in the ring. For a total of 24 points to Batista.
Which is what he already had, which puts him at 48.
And then we go to the King of Kings. The Cerebral Assassin. The Game. Triple H. So 11 base. 40 for winning, 3 for a counter of Batista's shoulder thrusts, 18 for weapon use, 15 for the OMGs, 4 for actual moves, for a total of 73 points to Triple H.
I'm at 103.
All right.
All right. So Triple H hugs Ric Flair. They head up the ramp together. We cut to Alexa Bliss in the backstage area.
Mm-hmm.
Where she introduces and brings in the B team, who are wearing Daniel Bryan WrestleMania victory T-shirts that she realized were made in advance in preparation for what was purportedly Daniel Bryan's 100% guaranteed win here at WrestleMania, now on sale at WWE Shop. Deep discount.
Mm-hmm.
And as they are modeling the shirts, Ron Simmons walks into frame. Pauses for a moment. Looks around. Damn! So, fun for those folks. I will give 3 points. I will give 3 points to the B team for showing up on the main show.
Yes. I would also like to give credit to JBL for being self-deprecating.
Yes.
Because he was like, because they were talking about like Ron Simmons, him showing up and stuff, and JBL was like, well, Raw carried me through most of my career, so why not now, huh?
Yep. Not sure when JBL turned into a trucker, but
Sorry, I'm not good with a Texas accent.
I noticed.
Not from Texas.
Fair enough. Anyway, we go out to the ring where we have Kurt Angle in his last match ever,
Quote unquote.
which is against Baron Corbin.
Question before you start this: is it alright if I dip out now? Cause I gotta get up in 3 hours for work.
I think Jim is gymming you.
No, that's what you gotta do. As long as we have the results of the matches.
Okay, so you got my last match, right?
Lashley Balor.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you gave me the thing. I have to open it up. Got it over here on my phone. No, wait a minute. In the text you said 4 hours. Now you're saying 3 hours. Which is it?
Oh, it's 3.5.
Okay.
It matters, I know.
Okay, I have your document here. So, yes, feel free to take off, Risa. Thank you for being here.
All right, you're welcome.
And we will see you on Saturday for the draft.
Yes, that's going to be very exciting.
Oh, is she not showing up tomorrow for the meeting?
Oh,
well, you might. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of an informal meeting.
Okay.
But if you'd like to show up, Jeff and I'll be around. We're going to be discussing some things, so feel free.
All right, sounds good.
Bye.
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 Bye, 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 bye. Alrighty. Anyway,
back to the show.
Quite. So, where that was, I had a recap here. Let's see. So, Kurt Angle has a match against Baron Corbin. JBL does commentary. Kurt takes the fight to Corbin with the right hands, belly to belly, but Corbin slows Kurt down by raking his eyes where the ref can't see. Elbow to the face with some right hands. Kurt fights back with an ankle lock, but Corbin manages to get out of that and hits a deep 6 for a 2. Corbin misses Kurt in the corner, and Kurt hits him with an angle slam, aka the Olympic slam. And that applies the ankle lock again, but Corbin fights out, drops Kurt in the corner.
Wait,
Corbin
Angle hit an angle slam?
Yeah.
All right.
The Olympic Slam.
One angle. And you say he did an ankle lock too, right?
Yep. He's done 2 of them so far, actually.
And 2 of them? She doesn't have a single one here, so I will add that. Okay.
Yep. Ankle lock, fights out deep 6. Shot in the corner. Kurt hits the ankle slam, then applies the ankle lock a second time.
Okay.
But Corbin fights out and drops Kurt in the corner. Corbin then does a "you can't see me" taunt. And then Kurt fires back with an elbow to the face. Kurt then hits a series of German suplexes. He goes up top for a moonsault, but Corbin moves out of the way. Nobody home for angle, and Corbin hits him with the end of days for the win.
All right. Is a moonsault considered a signature move of one Kurt Angle?
No clue.
Well, you need a clue because I need to know whether to keep the evasion points in for Corbin or not.
Well, I don't have a clue.
Well, who's got Corbin?
Tiff.
No.
Hang on. Let's see. That's not what I wanted at all. That's the wrong person. Angle. Let's see. Natural wisdom is frog splash, headbutt, moonsault. Yes, it is.
Okay, so we'll keep it in. So, Baron Corbin,
Yes.
48 points.
Okay.
Oh, wait, Baron Corbin won the match. Whoops, my bad. Oh, well.
That's okay. It's at 550.
Kurt Angle gets 20 points. And now I can close
340.
Tips document. Yep.
All right. Corbin immediately leaves after the match, and Kurt gets on the mic and talks about having the time of his life for the last 20 years. And to end his career, he wanted to hear those 2 famous words he's heard throughout his career. Calls for his theme music as the "You Suck" chants reign throughout the arena. So, promo to Kurt.
Fair.
All right. All right, so here. Boop. All right. Next, we move on to the Intercontinental Championship match between Bobby Lashley and the Demon Finn Balor.
You mean the squash match?
Wasn't a total squash.
Really? Isn't the Demon usually a total squash?
Sometimes. Leo Rush is in Lashley's corner. Balor came out as the Demon. Balor hit a spinning heel kick, then an axe kick. Dropped Lashley in the corner, then dumped him outside for a suicide dive. Back in, Lashley hits Balor with a big spine buster and follows up with some vertical suplexes. He then drops Balor out to ringside, rams him into the barricade. Looks for a spear, but Balor stops him with a sling blade. Then scares Leo Rush away, drop kicks Lashley into the barricade. Back in the ring, Balor gets distracted by Leo Rush again, which allows Lashley to spear Balor through the ropes and down to the floor.
Okay, then.
Balor was on the apron and Lashley speared him through the ropes and they went crashing down to the floor. It was a cool spot.
Fair.
Back in the ring, Lashley hits another spear, gets a 2, looks for a powerbomb, but Balor fights out with knees to the head. Balor struggles, but then at the reversal point here, Finn, I'm not even joking, okay, he struggles to get him up, but Finn Balor powerbombs Bobby Lashley.
Okay, then. Power of the Demon?
And then follows up with a coup de grace for the 3 count.
Wow.
Yeah, I will note here, let me open this other one.
OMG for Finn Balor for being able to do that?
Yeah, it was actually an interesting point made in the Cage Side Seats recap, I believe was what I was looking at here. Let me see.
Okay.
Let me scroll down to that match.
Yes.
Scrolling down, sorry. Here we go. No, it's not that. Hang on. Where's this stupid thing? Oh, it's not down there. Where the hell is the damn thing? Come on. What the fuck? Was it? What's that? I don't think so. Let me see. No. Where the hell was it? Hang on, let me see here. I think it's this way in here. Where's that damn? Sorry, folks. I'm having some trouble finding this. I don't know what it's saying. One of the recaps I was looking at, somebody made the point that there was finally a distinction between the Demon and Jacket Finn Balor in this match because of Balor not only with that power bomb, but with a number of other things in the match that Jacket Balor cannot do. So there may have actually been a there was actually some differentiation, and the recapper I remember really appreciated that and said there was a possibility to develop this into something, legit if it was done properly.
But if that's the case, then they've literally built a wrestler that can't win without his alter ego, because his alter ego is just a lot more powerful than he actually is. Which I don't know if that's good for him in the long run.
Right. I don't know what friggin' recap I was looking at where I saw that shit.
That's what happens when you're reading multiple recaps.
I know, but like, I'm looking at my history trying to figure out where the hell that was. There's only so many things I was at, and it's like, where the hell was I seeing that?
Well, obviously, it would be in the recap for that match, would it not?
Well, obviously, I'm just trying to figure out which, what recap it was exactly. Well, hang on. It's this one. It was another recap, not one of the three I'm looking at here. It was another site I saw it on.
Fair.
Here we go. This is over on ProWrestling.net. Is where I saw this. I think this is where I saw this. Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not that. This is just a pre-show. It was not on this one. This is just a pre-show, so it's definitely not that website then. Never mind.
Well, regardless, you've made your point, and it was a good one.
Yeah.
And I have made my counter arguments.
Yeah, the idea was that they could potentially parlay that, actually manage to make the Demon actually have a reason for existing by having it be differentiated from Jacket Balor. in terms of why it is different. Because up until now, Demon Balor has always just used the same moves as regular Balor. The only differentiation has been that, he's wearing paint and trying harder.
Mm-hmm.
So by having some slightly different moves and stuff, that could be a way to differentiate that.
Yeah, which would be fine. But if the different moves are Balor starts doing power moves, it's like, well, okay, so he's just better Balor. That's wonderful.
Mm.
It'll be interesting to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
Scores.
All right.
Lou, scores.
Yep. Leo Rush gets a couple of interference.
All right, so 11.
Yep. Okay. And let's see, Bobby Lashley. Let me open the thing here and see what Reese has got. All right, Bobby Lashley gets 8 for being in the match, plus 4 moves for 2 spears and 2 suplexes. He has 12 points to Lashley.
Hmm.
.474. And Finn Balor gets himself, let's see, 40 points for winning the Intercontinental title. 30 points for winning a pay-per-view match is 70. 8 points at base is 78. And 6 points for moves, including let's see here. 3, 4. What did he evade? Oh, he evaded the Lashley powerbomb attempt.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 for evading a powerbomb. Then 1 for the powerbomb that he hit, just because that was cool. 1 for the coup de grace, and 1 for a drop kick. Plus, let's see, plus a sling blade, and also these kicks and a powerbomb. Mario. Well, anyway, either way, Finn Balor comes out to 84 points. Is what we're getting at.
Plus 5 for OMG.
For what?
The power bomb.
For
actually being able to power bomb Bobby Lashley.
All right, 89 points to Finn Balor then. $695. Put him in the lead. All right, close this out.
Am I the only one who thinks that if they're gonna go with the demon having different moves, am I the only one who thinks they ought to give him a new finishing move just for the demon?
That'd be cool. Alexa Bliss comes out and says that they've set a new MetLife attendance record of 82,265. She then says it's time for a break and has to say it about 3 or 4 times before R-Truth and Carmella finally come out for the world's largest 7-second dance break. Which actually goes on way longer than 7 seconds.
Fair enough.
They go to an ad. Then we come back to see Charlotte arriving at the building in a helicopter.
All right, I'll take it from here.
All right.
So yeah, what the fuck was that? Like literally, Charlotte comes down in a helicopter. Dudes run out, roll out a red carpet at the door. Charlotte exits said helicopter wearing a jacket or something, and she takes it off and she does this. She goes like that, and dudes come running in and put the robe on her. And it's just like, wow, okay. And what I want to know is, how the hell did they clear with the city of New York the ability to land a helicopter in the middle of the damn parking lot? Like, I don't see the city of New York doing that for anybody, especially after 9/11.
Which is fine. They weren't in the city of New York. They were in the city of East Rutherford, New Jersey.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Yeah, okay, I guess they don't give a shit. That's true. Fair enough. Still, that's still kind of weird that they were able to do that. Just, what the fuck, Charlotte? Anyway, so she goes in, and then it cuts back out to the stage where Joan Jett and I forgot the name of her band, but I guess her band is as legendary as she is. Anyway, they announces them for Bad Reputation, which she sings live, and Ronda Rousey comes out. And Ronda kind of smiles at her, nods to her, and then goes into warrior mode and just stalks the hell down to the ring. And then Charlotte comes out, woohoo, and kind of parades herself down to the ring. And then Becky Lynch comes out, no special entrance, no nothing, but her ring attire, I guess, is inspired by the Bride, which I was like, what? Okay. Interesting choice. I don't know if you noticed that, Jim.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, if you go back and look at her ring gear, it's inspired by the Bride from Kill Bill.
Cool.
Yeah, she's got like the yellow stripe going down her arms and her legs and stuff. It's kind of interesting. So this is the triple threat winner takes all double women's championship match. And this was a decent match. It was a lot of back and forth. It was a lot of double teaming and stuff. At one point, it was pretty much Becky and Charlotte double teaming Ronda a bit. At one point, Charlotte hits a double natural selection that looks sloppy as hell. She also hits a double spear that looks better. And I also gave her an OMG for the Avalanche Spanish Fly because holy fuck. Ronda. Okay, so I gave her 2 OMGs. I gave her an OMG for the table spot because she and see who does the table spot. I think it was her and Becky do a table spot. Yeah, because they counter another double spear into the table spot because Charlotte tried to double spear them into a table and they just grabbed her and tossed her into the table instead. Which actually, did I? Yeah, I did that. Okay. So, but the other OMG I gave her is, and I would have given her an OMG for the thing that led into this, except she tried to do the double armbar, and she had it in, and I would have given it to her if it didn't last all of 1 second before I got immediately countered. I gave her the point for actually doing it because she did manage to hold the armbar on Charlotte. But here's what happened. She double armbarred, and as she went to lock it in, Becky and Charlotte immediately stood up, walked over to the ropes, and tried to dump her over the top rope. She then held on to the armbar and brought her legs up to lock it in. But as she was doing that, Becky actually managed to wiggle free. And so she had it locked on to Charlotte. And so imagine this, if you will, Ronda Rousey upside fucking down, hanging on for dear life, locked into the armbar on Charlotte. Becky Lynch backs up, comes running, and basically, I can't remember if she jumped past Charlotte or jumped between her legs, but basically drop kicked Ronda Rousey in like the back, causing her to release the armbar, and Ronda just dropped. And just bounced off the apron and hit the floor and just literally landed on like the back of her head on the floor. And I gave Ronda an OMG for taking that bump, because she could have done any number of different things and different bumps, and it still would have looked awesome. But she just chose to just let go of the armbar and just drop straight down. It's like, damn. What do you think, Jim? You think that deserves an OMG? Or are you a stick?
Yeah, you can consider that OMG worthy, I suppose.
Yeah. Because it's like, wow, kudos to Ronda for just straight dropping on her head.
Yep.
At bouncing off the apron, just boom, boom. It's like,
Yeesh,
ow.
Yeesh, indeed. Damn.
But yeah, there were plenty of counters across the board. They seemed to know each other pretty well. There was a lot of back and forth. A lot of trying to go up on the turnbuckles and stuff. Charlotte doing a
Right.
moonsault and all that crap. I think that they... right. Becky countered the moonsault. Ronda kept trying to do the Piper's Pit to Becky, and she kept wiggling out of it. She kept countering it, which was interesting. I believe it was Charlotte actually tried to put Becky in the disarm her, and Becky countered that. And then Becky tried to put Charlotte in the figure four, and she countered that. It was kind of hilarious. And then Ronda countered to disarm her out of nowhere, and then countered the spear. So it was like I said, counters left, right, and center. A lot of MMA combos by Ronda. She finally hit the Piper's Pit on Becky after she had hit one on Charlotte, but Becky kicked out of it. And let's see, how did the match end? I'm trying to remember how it ended. Becky, oh, right. So Becky goes for the crucifix pin. It was a counter off of, I think it was a counter off of another Piper's Pit. She tried to do the Piper's Pit again. She countered it into a crucifix pin. And rolled Ronda up into a pin. But Ronda, like, kind of unintentionally, like by accident, actually lifted her shoulder after it was like a 1.5 or 2 count. Her shoulder went up and then it went back down, and the ref counted through to the 3. And from what I understand, from what Jim has told me, that was supposed to be the finish, the counting through to the 3. And Ronda was not supposed to lift her shoulder, and she did. And Vince was pissed that Ronda did that, but more pissed at the ref for sticking to the finish instead of doing what he was supposed to do, what the refs are trained to do, and that is call each match like a shoot. And I believe Jim can speak a little bit more about this.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's supposed to be worked like a shoot, and basically the sorry, it's late. My brain is only half working right now. Bleh. What was it you already said? I wanted to make sure I'm not repeating myself.
That Vince was pissed at both Ronda for lifting her arm but more so the ref for not calling it like a shoot.
Yes, so many referees are trained to call every match like a shoot. Basically, even if they know the end result, what it's intended to be, and they usually do, they're to treat each pinfall or submission or anything else like a shoot, and call it realistically like whatever's happening in the ring, even if it's not right. And the ref, knowing what the end of the match was, which was supposed to be Becky with a crucifix pin on Ronda, proceeded to count 3, even though Ronda's right shoulder came off the mat. And what Vince told him afterward, according to reports, is that, you should have called it like a shoot, because now it's embarrassing because Ronda's shoulder was off the mat. Becky still got the win, so now there's controversy in that victory, and we can't address that because Ronda's leaving. And I didn't say that part, but that's everybody is. It's been a lot of rumors that she's leaving after WrestleMania here. And the referee's answer was, well, I knew that was supposed to be the ending, and I want to make sure the match went off properly, which is why I still counted it. And Vince's response was, that's not your problem. That's the responsibility of the talent if they don't properly set up the ending. Your job is to just call the shoot falls. It would have been their responsibility to set up a new ending and make sure it happened and to deal with that situation. The referee also, I didn't mention this earlier, part of the referee's other claim was he did that to maintain the ending because the fact that they would have had to on the fly come up with a new ending, and he wasn't sure that Ronda would be able to do that.
That's not his call to make, though.
I know, and that was Vince's other point, that it's the talent's problem to figure that out, not yours. Your job is to just call the match, call the falls as a shoot, as we instruct you to do, and he fined that referee after having words with him for that situation.
He should have just straight fired him for not doing his job, because his job isn't to make a call like that. His job is to call it like a shoot.
Mm-hmm.
But Vince is right in this respect, because there is now controversy, a controversy that may never be cleared up if Ronda is in fact leaving to go pop out kids.
Right. Yeah, I don't know, but that's what was floating around purportedly in regards to that match. So that's what we've heard.
Fair. So, your new double champion, Becky Lynch.
Yes. Oh, here it is. Referee discipline. Let's see. The report was on Fightful.com. Plans. It was actually referee Rod Zapata was the referee in question. He initially drew heat for not catching that Ronda's shoulders lost contact with the mat, but that dissipated quickly. But at Raw, Vince took him aside, went over the footage, and discussed the finish before he was fined. His stance was that because the finish was laid out ahead of time, he was going by the script, and if the finish didn't go down as planned, Rousey in particular may have, quote, struggled to regain her bearings, end quote. McMahon, though, argued that the problem would be on the talent and that Zapata, like all refs, should be calling the match as a shoot where pinfall attempts are concerned. After the match, he was reported to not be happy, though it's unclear if it was due to the finish or the fact that she broke her hand. Or both.
Mm-hmm. I would also point out that Ronda completely proved that ref wrong, because she completely stayed in character and was working it like a shoot, basically being pissed off that the ref called the 3 even though her arm was up.
Mm-hmm.
Which tells me that Ronda was in the mindset of she knew she fucked up and she was ready to fucking fix that shit, and the ref didn't give her a chance to fix that shit.
Right.
So yeah, fuck you, ref, for not having faith in the talent when the talent was obviously ready. Because Ronda knew what the finish was, and she was still acting surprised at the count when she knew she had lifted her arm. She was ready for, okay, I lifted the arm, probably should have done that. We're going to have to do something else. So in her mind, she was like, okay, after this, I'm going to have to get up, grab Becky, and we're going to have to come up with something here. But we could do that. And then the ref called the 3, and she was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Because she would know that the refs are supposed to call it like a shoot. That's probably why she was surprised, because the ref didn't call it like a shoot.
Right.
Which is why that ref should be fired. The referee should never be making a call like that, ever.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
You're getting soft in your old age, Vince.
Mm.
So anyway, let's go to said rowdy Ronda Rousey with the broken hand.
All right. Let me roll down here.
Also, lots of bruises and blood during this match. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, Ronda's leg was fucked to hell and back. And, like, Charlotte was bleeding all over the goddamn place.
Yep.
These ladies beat the shit out of each other.
Well, they were not going to let that WrestleMania main event opportunity go to waste. They were going to prove to the world they belong there.
They did.
Oh yeah.
So Ronda.
All right.
Gets base 15.
Mm-hmm.
6 for counters, 10 for the OMGs.
Yep.
5 for moves, total of 36 points to rowdy Ronda Rousey.
Sorry, what was the total number?
36.
36. All right. So that's 79, 89, 99, 709.
Oh. And then, woohoo! Charlotte Flair.
Yep.
Base 11. 6 for counters, 15 for OMGs, 10 for moves.
Mm-hmm.
Total of 44 points to Charlotte Flair.
Puts her at 355.
And Becky Lynch.
The man.
Man. The controversial man.
Yes.
Because the ref sucks. Anyway, base 11. 45 for winning.
Mm-hmm.
100 for the double title win.
Yep.
15 for counters. 5 for the OMG. 5 for moves. Total of 185 points to Becky Lynch.
Goddamn.
Well, she won 2 main titles
I
in
know.
one match.
That's the highest point total for any single match ever in this fantasy league.
Is it?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought we had over 200 points at one point for a match.
Did we?
Could be
I don't
wrong.
recall that.
Anyway, what's Becky's total?
659.
Damn. Now, I would just like to say before we go to the totals,
Mhm.
I think it was a mistake to put Charlotte in this match.
I tend to agree.
I think the match would have been infinitely better if it had just been Becky versus Ronda. I think this was a good match, but I think the weight of everything that was on it did it a disservice because you had the first ever women's main event, fair enough, right?
Yep.
It was a title match, fair enough. But then you add the SmackDown title to it, make it a triple threat match, and make it a winner takes all. That's a lot to put on this match.
Yeah.
And no offense to the ladies, but I feel that the match fell short. Like, it wasn't as impressive as it could have been and as it should have been. If it had just been Becky versus Ronda, the disarmer versus the
Armbar.
armbar for the Raw Women's Championship, first ever women's main event, that would have been enough. And I think those two would have tore the house down.
I can agree.
But by adding Charlotte to the match, this match just felt it felt sluggish and it felt like a clusterfuck, to be honest with you. I kind of didn't like this match, and it's not because it was a bad match. It just didn't feel right. So, yeah, I think WWE, you might have fucked up with this match. But it was still a main event worthy match, don't get me wrong.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I'm glad to see that you agree with me because I didn't know if you felt that way or if you felt that this was a perfectly serviceable main event match and that they didn't fuck up. So
No, I mean, look at main event match, but I always thought that they didn't need Charlotte in this feud, and that she just got forced in there for whatever reason.
yeah, because it's go ahead.
Yeah, what they should have done if they really wanted to do this, had Becky move back into the Ronda feud, let that feud do its thing, and have Charlotte fight Asuka for the SmackDown Women's title again and have a rematch from last year's WrestleMania. That would have been fine.
Yeah, and have Asuka actually win this time.
Got the win over Charlotte. Yeah, that would have worked just fine, but...
Yeah, because obviously they dumped the title on Charlotte just to try to put something else more into this match, which didn't need it.
Yeah, and to justify Charlotte's place in the match.
Right, and it's for whatever reason... It's because they didn't want to remove her from the match when that was probably the better move to make was to remove her. Because I get why they put her in it in the first place was because they were unsure if Becky was going to be ready to go for WrestleMania. They needed the contingency.
Right.
And that's fine. But when Becky got cleared and when she was like perfectly fine, they should have just yanked Charlotte from the match and be like, well, sorry, Charlotte, you were just her replacement when we thought she couldn't make it.
Right.
But because for whatever reason they abject refused to do that, they put more onto the shoulders of this match and the three ladies than was absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
And then they fucked over Asuka in the process, which made me even more mad.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So,
let's see how this thing ended, shall we?
Before we do that, question.
Yes.
Are we going to be distributing the excess points, or are we just going to say fuck it, even though there's several hundred points down there?
We have to check the totals first. We're not going to know yet.
Fair.
We're going to check the totals. We're going to see what the spread is.
Fair.
Because if the spread is enough that it's not going to matter, then we're not going to bother.
Fair.
So let's go over here and see what we got. All right. And winner is
Holy shit!
at 10,260.
Wow.
Extremely Legit Yes Movement. At 96.87 of a margin of about 600-point margin.
Oh.
The Rowdy Last Kickers at 96.87.
Oh, maybe.
An 800-point margin there.
Yeah.
And then I'm back at 68.82.
Wow, I got more points than I thought I did. Holy shit.
Yep.
But I guess I did get like half the wins of the night. So.
Yeah, 94. You got about 6. You got about 800 points for the night.
My God. I guess it doesn't matter then.
Well, like I said, the gap between the two of you, 97, 98, 99, 10, 87, 10, 187, 10, 287. Yeah, it's just under 600 points is the gap.
I don't think there's that many points to go around. And even if there was, that means she'd have to get them all, which she wouldn't, because we would split them across all the three of us.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Blackachet has about 650 points between them. Which, being that they're a team, they'd have to go to one person anyway. So. Yeah, I'm going to choose not to bother.
Fair.
I think it's going to be easier that way because if Tiff got Blackachet, that would about even the numbers, and it would come down to, the split of the others. Only Lorcan with 120 and the others, which all have 20, 20, 70, 70, so on. And
right.
we're not going to do
Matt Hardy would end up with me anyway.
Right, and Gargano and Ciampa aren't coming to the main roster, so
no, not anymore. Not now. Not now that Gargano's the champ. No, he's not.
Yeah, Ciampa's injured.
Yeah, and Road Dogg and Jarrett don't mean anything. So
no, so really at this point, it's not even worth it to bother. So
yeah.
So that's going to be our final scores then. So Jeff has won.
Ooh. And I have 2 days to figure out who the hell I'm going to keep. Well, I know one person already. I know who I'm keeping, actually.
All right.
So, I'd be dumb to get rid of Seth freaking Rollins or to allow him to be taken.
That is true. I'd have to go back and just check because I think one season in the past have we gotten over 10,000, and I'm not sure if you beat that record or not.
I hope I didn't beat that record because I remember that season, and that was the longest season of record.
Right.
That's why that score got that high.
Yeah. I'll have to go double check that because I don't remember where that ended, but we'll check that later.
Fair enough. And the final leaderboards.
Yep. All right. On the final leaderboards, at the top is the former Raw Women's Champion, the baddest woman on the planet, Ronda Rousey, topping the season at 709 points. In second place is the Intercontinental Champion, the Demon Finn Balor at 695. Mm-hmm. In third place, the former WWE Champion, the new Daniel Bryan at 669. 10 points behind him is the man, Becky Two Belts.
Yep. Rocketing from out of nowhere to take the number 4 spot.
Yep, at 659. Followed by Seth freaking Rollins, the Universal Champion at 637.
Yeah.
The Scottish Psychopath Drew McIntyre holding in there at 621 for fifth place. Sixth place, rather. Seventh place is the U.S. champ Samoa Joe at 606 off of beating Rey Mysterio. Baron Corbin off his win in Kurt Angle's last match is at 550. The former women's tag team champions Sasha Banks and Bayley ran out the top 10 at 494 and 490 respectively.
Yeah, that's a hell of a top 10.
Yes. The new WWE champion Kofi Kingston got up there at 13 but didn't quite make the top 10.
No. That's because everyone else in the top 10 has been consistent for the entire season.
Pretty much. All right, so there you have it, folks.
That was WrestleMania.
Pretty much.
That was season 9?
Season
10.
9. 9.
9.
So, Jeff, thank you for being here. Risa, thank you for having joined us earlier. Tiff, thank you for the scores.
Absolutely.
We will see you all this coming Saturday night when we will have our Season 10 draft. We're going to try to score this week's scores after that. If it's getting too late, we'll just do that on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday or during the week. We'll find time to do it.
Yeah, but either way, at least the draft will happen on Saturday.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. There'll be some amendments to the roster. There will be some amendments to point values on the rules. And we will be officially bringing in Risa Solrisa as a full participant and having 4 teams. It has been quite a while since we've had 4 teams.
By the way, Jim, since it is now available, do you want to actually throw the link to our scoring sheet down in the description in case people want to see what we're actually using for a scoring sheet?
I won't do it with this one. I will debut it in the draft video.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so keep an eye out for that, people, because just to make it easier on us, I've decided to compile our scoring criteria into a Google sheet. So it is now viewable on the internets for the world to see.
Yeah, in the description of either the draft or possibly the first scoring. Either way, we will put that out there. So you can kind of take a look at exactly what point values we're awarding for different things and get an idea what we're doing.
You can feel free to use it for your own fantasy league if you so desire.
Go for it.
It is a living document, people, so we'll be modifying as necessary. So you might want to check back on that if you're using it for your stuff.
Exactly. All right. This has been Season 9 of the XFL, the X-Pound Fantasy League. Stay tuned for Season 10 on Saturday. It's going to be a whole new ball game, folks. Especially given that, as happens a lot, we're kind of drafting not blind, but a little bit in the dark, because next week is the official Superstar Shakeup on Raw and SmackDown, meaning Superstars we draft could end up on completely different shows in completely different situations. Who the hell knows?
And interestingly, it's appropriate that we're revamping rules. We're obviously have to redo a lot of the rosters because people have quit, people have retired, et cetera, et cetera. We're adding a new person. It's appropriate that it's this season because this will also be Season 10 will be the first season, full season of the XFL on the X-Pound.
That too.
Welcome back to the X-Pound, folks. It's time to shake things up again.